morning, and welcome to another exciting broadcast day.
Well, what's on tap for us? First off, we have Name Teresa's Vagina.
Oh, great. I wasn't aware we were doing that today.
Sweet. Yeah, we're going band names.
Oh, that
That's
should be fun.
That's the theme, band names. Speaking of bands, Toad the Wet Sprocket, one of my favorite bands. One of my, what I believe to be one of the most underrated bands, going to be in the studio playing their hits acoustically for us at some point today. So I will look forward to that. Another thing I'll look forward to is comedian Robert Schimmel is coming in here. One of the, not only one of the funniest stand-up comedians, but an open book. And it's easy to be an open book when there's not much between the jacket of the book. But Robert Schimmel married his daughter's friend. He has a kid who died of cancer. He got cancer. His wife nursed him back from death's doorstep, and then he married his daughter's friend.
It all sounds hilarious.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Speaking of hilarious, by the way, also Brittany Evans, St. Polly Girl. Yes, the St. Polly Girl, the one from all the posters, from the classy liquor stores. Is coming in here looking good in the next room. We were talking about laughter a second ago. Thank you, Big Tad. I was trying to think. You know, I've been working lately on what makes you happy versus what makes you unhappy, and I believe that's sort of the key to life. And thank you. I'm going to raise my stool here for a second while I impart. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this. I'd like to know how to be happy.
Well, you know, the first thing is when you're poor, or even somewhere close to poor, and there's things that you don't have in life, well, then it's pretty easy. You say, look, I'm not happy because me and my wife, or me and my roommate, or me and whoever, my hand, live in this crappy apartment.
My baby daddy and I
drive this crappy car. It'd be great. I remember the whole time I was poor, I drove a pickup truck, a crappy pickup truck, because I needed one for work. And I never could afford to have a regular car and then a work pickup truck. So I would go out on dates in my pickup truck, and I would go out in the weekends in a pickup truck. And driving a truck around, well, it's sort of been glamorized now by every Yahoo driving their SUV around. Back in the day, trucks were trucks. I mean, they just had a bench vinyl seat, and no headrest and no air conditioning. It was like driving a work vehicle, a step away from a tractor, essentially, out on dates and to the market on the weekends. And it blew, and I thought, well, of course you're not happy. You have to drive this crappy truck. This is your lot in life. And there's a bunch of stuff I wanted when I didn't have money. And I thought, well, of course, if I could get myself a cool car, and then I got myself a nice condo, and then I got some nice clothes, well, then, of course, I would be happy. So it's easy when you're poor. You look no further than the television set. You see a car commercial, and you go, well, if I had one of those, I'd be happy. And that's what happens. Then, God willing, you make a few bucks, and you realize, hey, you feel about the same. You're not walking around with this impending doom, the sword of Damocles hanging over your head, like I announced the sword of Damashek hanging over my head. But that, you know, never having insurance, dental insurance, car insurance, not sure if you're going to make your rent this month. That's sort of an impending doom stuff. You get rid of that. You have sort of peace of mind. You have a couple bucks in the bank. You could miss work for a few months and you'd still be all right. But you're not happy. You figured you'd be happy. You got this car, you got this house, you got this clothes. You're able to go to Europe on a vacation. This is going to make you happy? No, not really happy, because then there's more stuff. You just move up to the next level. Wherever you're at, there's always a level above you. No matter what level you get to, there's a level above you. You think you have money. You think you have power. Sure, you fly first class, but these guys fly their own chartered planes. They fly, and there's always a step. There's always something to look for. And then I realized envy. That's what screws you up. When you watch these entertainment shows, and I do believe they F up most of America, although I'm addicted to them, but just like anything that's bad for you, it's addicting. You watch these shows, and what are these shows? Well, they're mainly so-and-sos at the Cannes Film Festival and the paparazzi and the light. The flash bulbs are popping, and she's wearing this beautiful gown, and she's dripping in diamonds. I see it. I see my wife. I see her. Look at these guys. Oh, they just bought this mansion in Malibu, and as a gift, he bought her a Rolls Royce and all. And it's like you just see the envy dripping, and all these fluff stories about these people that are probably just as miserable as you are, if not more. But they're portrayed in this crazy. Oh, they've rented out an island for their vacation. And there's nothing. Vacation is one of those things that always gets a look from the old lady. Because Brad and Angelina, they just got to Tahitian Island for their vacations, 3 weeks, and some of their best friends. And then the wife just looks at you and says, we went to Pismo Beach. This is what it garners. This is how it works. So then I started thinking, well, this does make you miserable because you think you're feeling pretty good about yourself, and then you turn on the TV and you see Patrick Dempsey, and he's driving the pace car at the Indy 500, and Dr. McDreamy jumps out of the modified Corvette and says, "Whoo, that was a rush." And I think to myself, God damn it, I'm miserable now. I should be driving that pace car.
It's a McNightmare.
It's a McNightmare. Thank you. The worst shake I've ever had at McDonald's, by the way. The McNightmare. Human fecal matter in it. I don't even know what they were thinking. It was the 70s.
It looks chocolate.
It was a different time. The fact that I drank 2 of them shows where my self-esteem was at as a teenager. Point is this. You turn on these shows and it's all red carpet. It's all hip and happening. Whenever they do that, Pat O'Brien is standing out there. The rain opened up in the Palms Casino. And who's here? Oh, it's the cast of Entourage here. And there's ladies swinging around and booze is flowing. And you just watch that and you just go, oh, man, I got to get, why can't I get in on some? I never get in. And as soon as you start in on that, I never get in on, or why didn't I, or how come I couldn't have joined up with this, then it's immediately, and that's what it is. If you find out 5 of your buddies went and did something you really wanted to do over the weekend and you couldn't go. Oh, we went out to the Rose Bowl, we tailgated, and we had bratwurst, and we had beers, and then we watched SC play. You're like, oh. Now you're miserable. And if they went somewhere you didn't want to go, conversely, when Schimmel tells me he had to go to Boston to go to a bat mitzvah, I feel great. I'm good luck, buddy.
It's the reverse effect of watching The Insider.
It really is. Have Schimmel call you and tell you had to go across the world to go to a bat mitzvah with his girlfriend, and you'll feel better. So then I thought, well, all right. So then the key to feeling better is just to turn on the news and see about the poor Iraqis that are being killed by U.S. Marines and car bombs, and then there's Darfur, and there's famine, and there's so much wretched horribleness in the world that this is going to make you feel better. But this doesn't work because now you're just depressed. Geez, these poor guys getting eaten by alligators. These poor guys. She's 9. She has full-blown AIDS. Her whole family has AIDS. There's no medical support. They're living on a dirt floor. Now you start getting depressed when you hear about that stuff, roadside bombs and that kind of thing. I've realized the best, and I'm going to design a channel. I'm going to design a channel one day that just makes you feel better about yourself.
ATV.
Yes. A stands for Adam?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Good one, T.
Thanks.
Best yet.
Thank you.
Point is the people that are way above you, when you see, like I said, the boys from Entourage hopping in the private jet and winging off to Vegas, you're depressed. When you hear the car bomb went off and the Marine lost his leg, that's depressing. What's nice is the in-between, just lower than you. Just a little bit lower than you. And how I stumbled onto this is I was watching Last Comic Standing last night with my wife. I haven't watched a lot of that show, and I normally don't like watching stand-up. It bothers me for some reason. I have an aversion to comedy, as anyone who's been listening for the last 9.5 minutes would tell you.
Oh, sweet irony!
But the stand-up bits were 8 seconds, 20 seconds here and there. What it was a line of hopefuls. And I watched it. It was a 2-hour special, and they would go to Tempe, and they'd go to New York, and they'd go to cities all over the country, and each place would be a line of 500 hopefuls. Just people standing out in the hot sun of Arizona, line going around the block at some strip mall comedy club, and they'd interview them. I just want to get up on stage. I could see the confusion. I could see sort of the want, but I could see no one had control of their destiny. They were hoping that these two schmucks that probably weren't paying attention would wave their magic wand and push them on to the next round. But even if they got to the next round, so there were the 5 people chosen in Tempe. Well, they got to go against 10 people in Chicago and New York and L.A., and no one's going to make it to the final cut. It's a lottery ticket. But I just watched that whole show, and I thought about standing in line and doing stand-up and doing open mics, and I just thought, wow, am I glad. I'm watching my big TV. I'm sitting at home. I got a nice car in the driveway. I got a job.
About to have kids?
About to have kids. I was going to get to them.
I'm sorry. The list was getting long.
Well, I got more cars.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mention all the cars.
I'm sorry.
There's a Ferrari.
Right.
Then I got the Nissan, and I got the old
I think the kids should come in front of the Nissan. Well, at least the Mini Cooper.
I announced that my children were my babies.
Oh, right.
At a certain point in my time, about 4 years ago when I was on Schimmel, and you can't just announce something's your babies and then have them replaced. I would say to my children when I explain this to them, look, what if I called you my babies? Yes, my babies are my babies. And then someday you got replaced. Well, how would you feel?
So the cars are the babies.
Yeah, like a car, a refrigerator, a cooler, something came around, maybe a fishing boat, and replaced you. Well, it doesn't feel so good, does it? How do you think they feel? That's a lesson.
Sort of your whole comparison thing about your existence versus other people. Same thing for the kids, yeah.
Right.
Well, listen, here's the thing. Until the 20th century, it's a new notion, the idea of being happy in life.
Yes.
About 96% of human beings who ever exist on the face of the earth, that was never a consideration. Well, how can my life be more pleasurable? Subsistence living to live day to day.
Right.
You see?
It was just chop wood, carry water.
Right. That's why, that's why religion was necessary.
Does chop wood mean masturbate? Because I'm about halfway with you.
But chopped wood is a good name for Teresa's vagina.
Thank you. In some cultures. No, I couldn't relate more to what you were saying, because there was a time period where I would read Us Weekly and People and Star, and I would it was almost like a drug. Every afternoon, I would read these and take a nap, and I noticed I was getting really depressed every day, and I finally connected the two. Like, every time I look at these pictures, sure, maybe they're unhappy, but they're so thin, and their pores are so small, and they have like $300 moisturizer and $800 handbags, and I would just suddenly feel myself shrinking.
It is almost tailor-made, not intentionally, but to depress teenage girls. If you're a 15-year-old girl, you have an evil stepmother or stepfather like Teresa had in the mother department, you're 20 pounds overweight, maybe your skin isn't as good as it could be.
I'm thin now, Adam.
At age, no, I know. No, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing nothing wrong. No, you've blossomed into a beautiful woman. I'm not speaking of you. I'm talking, picture a 15-year-old girl, got a little extra weight around the hips, and maybe the kind of skin that most 15-year-olds have, not the airbrush type you see in the Us Weekly, and you're just sitting home looking at your crappy house with your crappy go-nowhere life, and you open the magazine, and there's Lindsay Lohan, and she's bought herself $700 worth of custom handbag, and now she's going down Rodeo in her 500 Mercedes and all this. It's just like, it's how you get a 15-year-old to kill themselves.
Yeah.
It really is. If that's what you want to do, this is your pamphlet. It's a suicide pamphlet. That's what Us Weekly is. That's what In Touch. These aren't magazines, they're suicide pamphlets. I'm hitting the streets. No, but that's how you, I swear to God, my wife opens these magazines. Oh, they were married on the beach in Maui. Look at these pictures. Oh, everyone is so flawless. Everyone is so thin. Look, they get airbrushes out and fix up stuff. These people, the next issue, open it up, the person's in rehab or try to kill themselves. How happy are they? Obviously, not as happy as they're depicted in the magazine, but when the loving couple and they're there, they have the dog in between them and everything is great. You look at that and you get envious, and then you get angry, and then you get depressed.
Yep, compare and despair.
That's exactly how it works. And that's all you have. I mean, even when you look in the mirror, if everyone out there looked like Natalie from Facts of Life, you'd be walking around with your pants around your ankles and a tiara on. And that's Dave. That's Dave. If
Mindy Cohn?
No, you'd be wearing the tiara. Yeah, no.
Good.
Here's what I'm saying. If everybody out there look like, yes, just use the Facts of Life. That's all. We don't have to stray. That's right. If everyone out there looked like Blair did in 1981, you'd be miserable. If everyone looked like Natalie, you'd be happy. Even if you didn't change one goddamn iota, you were exactly the same. You just went to a high school filled with Natalies. You're the belle of the ball, or you go with Blair. You're dragging around her makeup kit all day. That's it.
And if everyone were Joe, we'd all be happy because she's kind of in the middle.
Joe's in between. She's from New York. Look out. She'll give you a black eye.
She'll go with a man. She'll go with a woman.
Joe. All right.
She's the everyman.
There you go. Key to happiness. Don't go too low. Don't hear about, people that are abducted in Chechnya. Don't go too high. Don't see what the Trumpster and Melania's up to and how they have the new. That's my wife. My wife wanted to look at the nursery. Look at their nursery.
I saw that Barron's nursery. It was on Oprah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at look, Ellen DeGeneres got him a gold-leafed crib. Look at that, my wife. I could already see her face changing. All of a sudden, our nursery doesn't look so hot anymore.
Right.
It was just better than 99% of the nurseries, but not anymore. Now look at this one. This is the new standard. By the way, though, I said, would you want your kid raised on the 44th floor of anything? I mean, your kid. I went to Stern's condo once a few years ago.
What was that like?
It was on like the 54th or 55th floor, right? Yeah, that's right. You'd end up like Clapton's kid.
One open window.
That's right. Oh, you just one Mexican maid leaving a sliding glass door open away from certain tragedy. A hit song, but certain tragedy for the child. Had to be weird for the people down on the sidewalk, too. Was that Clapton's? Oh, Craig, get out of the way. Yeah. Point is...
get the umbrella.
Point is this. Yes, I was at Stern's condo somewhere on the Upper West Side some years back, and he's like on the 50-something floor. And it's a great condo, and it's got a panoramic view, and it's
You're talking
creepy.
about Daniel Stern, right?
Yes. From
the cowboy picture with Billy Crystal.
Yes.
City Slickers.
Thank you.
Yes, in the diner.
Right. That's right. No, I'm talking about Howard Stern. It's like his bathtub against the window on the 55th floor. It's sort of as if once in a while you have to go see an attorney or something, or a high-end dentist or something. You go to the top of one of these buildings, and while the person leaves the room, you press your face against that glass and you look down. It's crazy. It's creepy. Imagine you sitting in a bathtub or on the toilet and just being against that glass. The whole place is that way times 3 sides. See the Hudson River, and it's crazy. The buildings around are like 24, 25 stories, and you're like 50-something. But I thought, it's kind of weird sleeping with your ass 1,000 feet above the ground. I mean, isn't that kind of weird? Just, I don't know. Is there part of your brain that'll never get used to that? Would it be weird tucking into a bed at night where your head is literally 1,000 feet above
weird for
the
children,
earth?
That's for sure.
It can certainly
what a weird
freak them
place
out.
to grow up, yeah.
Yeah, it's like growing up in a habit trail on top of a flagpole. And when I picture it's like an aquarium, the stuff on the top of a tower. It's kind of weird, people looking at you, and also you're thinking about airplanes and terrorists and that kind of stuff. It's just weird whenever I see Trump up there and I see the nursery. It's just weird to have a nursery where you open the curtains of the nursery and you look down, and Manhattan is 44 stories below you. Kind of weird. Hey, look at all the ants walking by. This is freaky.
Place like that goes for what? About $200K?
Well, wait, let me ask you this.
Which one?
Stearns
Place up atop New York City.
Stearns or Trump's?
Either one. It'd be cool to have a place out on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, Dave, it's more. I don't want to depress you and tell you how much.
Here we go back to depressing.
Yeah, it's probably $30 million.
Did you do any of the work on your nursery? Did you paint it or construct it?
Yes, I did.
One room for 2 twins?
Yes.
No wonder Lynette's upset.
Yes. I know. She's very depressed. All right, where were we? Christian, the comedian. We're running too long. Hang on, Christian. Christian has a joke for us. I talked too much at the beginning of the show. Christian?
Hey.
What's up, my brother?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Do you have comedy for us?
Yes, I do.
All right, hold on. He's 13. He's got jokes. Maybe we'll feel better. We got to take a break. We'll come back. Brittany Evans, St. Pauli girls coming in after this.
Yeah. I got to do my hair.
Blonde. Yeah, I'm going to freshen up myself and wash my junk in the sink. Christian will also do a little of his own brand of 13-year-old comedy for us after this.
The Adam Carolla Show. Comedy, opinions, celebrities, news, sports, and so much more.
The Ed on the phone. Ed?
You guys got a new girl there, huh?
Yes.
What's her name?
Teresa.
Hello, Teresa.
Hi.
Okay.
I enjoy your reviews very much.
I like your news. You got some good news for me.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more of The Adam Carolla Show. And now, Oswaldo reads the 100 greatest movie quotes of all time. Number 50, from Apollo 13.
Houston, we have a problem.
Now, back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Tell you about Ozzy and talking about movies. There's a lot of people had a problem with Ozzy revealing the fate of some of the X-Men yesterday on the show when he did his movie review, Last Stand.
Nerding.
Well, listen, a lot of people are upset. People die, and he revealed who they were.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
we did say spoiler alert.
You're right.
All right. I listen, okay. If you watch the commercials for most movies, they give away some pretty good plot points, I mean, they'll do that thing where they'll go like, John Johnson was a businessman and a family man, and they show him with his family stuff until, and then they show the wife being abducted and the kids being, and then there's a cut to the terrorist guy on the phone going, if you want to see him alive. Well, you're halfway through the movie now. I thought I was going to see a nice movie about a guy spending time with his family, real quality time, and all of a sudden the terrorist, you know what I'm saying? They push through halfway through the movie, at least when you're watching the beginning of the movie and the guy's pushing his kid on a big wheel down the street in suburbia, at a certain point a van is going to pull up. In that sense, it's sort of been ruined, if you think about it. I mean, I'm just saying you could take this argument and keep going with it if you wanted. Eugene?
Yeah. Hello.
Eugene is our listener from Spain.
Yeah. Adam, I have two names for your kids and a question for Teresa.
Okay.
The names for your son, Sandro Carolla.
Sandra?
Sandro.
Sandro. Yes,
nice.
the male. Sandro's nice.
Italian name, yeah. And for your daughter, Julia.
Yeah, I like Julia too.
It's pretty.
It's Italian too.
Okay.
Yeah, and the question for Teresa is how Teresa, how do you really feel about this new thing, the naming your vagina?
I'm flattered and honored. Yes.
As soon as we're done with her, we're moving on to Brian's wang, and then we're going to move on to Brusca's nipples.
Oh, and by the way, do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, I got somebody. First of all, I've gotten probably 100 emails of people wanting to name my vagina, and one of them was a stadium in Mexico. Can you translate this for me? It's Templo del Dolor.
Yeah, that's like Temple of Pain.
Oh,
Temple of Pain.
maybe I
that.
don't like that as much.
Our dreams go to die.
I thought you couldn't do better than the chupacabra, but I was wrong.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Eugene, what time is it over there in Spain?
It's 3:30.
3:30 in the afternoon.
Siesta time, and then party till dawn.
Yeah.
how it goes over
And you
there.
live there full time, right, Eugene?
Yeah.
So if I ever get out that way, I can crash at your place?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That would be an honor.
Really? It'll be nice. I'll do the radio show for you live every morning from our apartment.
Oh, cool.
All right, Eugene, we got a weird echo thing that's going to cause me to have
I thought
an
it was inside
epileptic
my
seizure.
vagina.
Well, it's not that.
Hello!
stuck. Go for help.
Things aren't right.
I need water and gynolotrimine. Do you have Metro Gel or Snake Bite Kit? Where were we? Yes, now young Christian comedian. Christian, the comedian. Christian?
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, what's going on, my brother?
Not much. School's almost over. I'm getting excited about that.
Sure, I remember that feeling. It's a horrible message to send. That sort of, we're out of here. I treated prison as if it was a, internment camp, and I was, and the war had ended. It's really that's free, free to not read, free to not study, and then later on you get out of that and you get into work and you realize there's no summer vacation and you're just miserable all the time.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better in life. You talk about trying to find happiness in life. That is it. That is as happy as you will ever be. Is the last day of school. There's nothing better every
summertime. Yeah. So Christian, what do you have planned for the summer?
Oh, I don't know. I'll probably be just enjoying it, I guess. Just watching TV. I'll probably look for another club. I think I found a couple, but I tried to call them, but they were just machines, so I'll have to send them an email or something. I think I just found a couple clubs in Fresno.
So you want to perform in Fresno? Well, give us some of your new comedy, if you please.
I have 4 parents, and I've known each of them for a while. And I've decided that all parents are different, but they're all alike in a lot of ways. They're all lying, rude, cheating, pains in the butt. When I was about 7 years old, my dad tried to teach me poker, but when he realized that his 7-year-old son was going to beat him, he gave me fake rules so that I wouldn't win. And I, thinking that I was the coolest kid in school knowing how to play poker, taught all my friends. So me and all the other 3rd graders in my school were under the impression that a jack and 2 queens was called a threesome.
Raunchy.
Yeah, I like that.
Clean your room. That is the ultimate punishment because there's always something to do. Wind next to windows, fix your bed, vacuum the floor, dust the shelves. It's never good enough for them. And they're all hypocrites because their room's never clean. Whenever my dad ever tells me to clean my room, I tell him at least I don't hide porn under my bed.
Not for another 6 months.
But I really don't have much room to talk because I just stash them in my closet. That's what I have
for stepping on that one, buddy. Nice job, Christian.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, out of school, then where the hell are we? Probably 2 weeks?
Yeah, this is the last 2 weeks. Next week will be, I'll have one day after the next time I call, and that'll be the day before.
And then season 5 of Last Comic Standing.
What I'm looking forward to, as I've said many times, is just syncing up everything nationally, all that, you talk to people. Well, when did you? Oh, we got out of school June 1st. Oh, we don't get out to the 17th. Oh, our high school's 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Oh, ours was just 10th, 11th, and 12th. Why do we have to do that, yours and ours, when we're all living in the same country? Let's just figure it out. So I know I got to set my clock. You know what I mean? Year-round school versus summer vacation. Christian?
Yeah.
There's a foxy blonde in here, so I'm going to have to cut you loose.
Okay.
You understand?
I understand.
That's how life works. Brittany Evans, St. Pauli girl, 2006.
Hello.
Good to
morning.
see you.
Good
you look
morning.
fantabulous, by the way.
Thank you so much.
I like the fact that you dressed up to come in here, or at least dolled up a little bit.
Well, thanks.
I do not like the engagement ring that you're wearing, however.
Well, good for you. It's not an engagement ring. It's actually a wedding ring.
Oh, even worse.
But I have to admit, I'm faking some enthusiasm right now. I'm pretty devastated by the recent news about the. Well, I'm a big fan. I kind of have a crush on this guy at the White House.
Who's that?
And I just found out he's leaving. Jon Snow.
Was he the Treasury?
Yeah.
Treasury guy?
Yeah, the Treasury. Yeah, the Treasury Secretary.
I heard they were getting rid of him and finding another one or something. But
yeah, what's up with that?
You're a big fan of his policy
He's
making?
so cute. Have you guys seen him? Have you seen
I don't
him?
know. Those guys all just look like suits
I know.
to me.
Well, he had a little something.
I'm sorry you're broken up about it. I mean,
I am. I almost couldn't get up this morning, but.
Geez, it's weird because we've had a rash of beautiful women in here that were just obsessed with politics.
I know. I'm such a fan of his work.
I think Bush is going to do his nominee, I think, is going to do a capable job.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have that star quality, though, you know?
Yeah, I know what it's like. You get attached to a certain treasurer. I remember being young, having my treasurer heroes.
I know.
And then when it's time for them to hang up the change belt, or whatever they wear. I don't know. They have official uniform. I picture them sort of an ice cream man. Why don't they have an outfit? They should have a dollar bill jacket.
Or
a big
sash.
Sash. It says official treasurer, the big green cap on it shaped like a silver dollar. Would be nice. At least you could separate them. Because right now you got a guy up there, if he's the treasurer, the war minister. You don't know who these guys are. Department of Interior.
They should wear a different color, assigned to a different category.
But to you, Jon Snow's the guy.
Oh, yeah,
he is. He stood out above the rest. I thought, personally, I thought he was the best treasurer ever. I may be going out on a limb here, but
a lot of the other models would I wouldn't bring that up in when you're hanging around like the Hawaiian Tropic chicks.
Oh no, it's a subject of heated debate.
That's what I'm saying. They have their favorite treasurers. You have your own. Next thing you know, it's come to fisticuffs.
Sure. To most models, Jon Snow means a little something different. You know what I mean?
Jon Snow. It's the nickname for the Arab guy they've been seeing on the weekends. Yes.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, creepy. Brittany, where have we gone?
I know.
Miss I don't know if I call it Miss St. Polly Girl, but St. Polly Girl, what would your title be? Would it be Miss St. Polly Girl?
No.
The St. Polly Girl?
Just, the one and only St. Polly Girl. That'll work.
How long have they had? It seems to me the St. Polly Girl has been around for as long as I've known the beer St. Polly Girl.
Several generations.
Yeah, good posters. Some of the best posters. You know why? Because you go into the liquor stores and you get the hot chicks. The best are the Mexican beers because they just cut right through it. They take a chick, they put her in a bikini, and they hand her a soccer ball and a beer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pancho, have at yourself.
And they're always
it's all
gorgeous.
there. Chick, soccer ball, and a brew. What else do you need? But the St. Polly Girl, they put her in the outfit.
Yeah.
The outfit. Mm-hmm.
Do you wear the outfit?
I only got to wear it for the photo shoot. I don't get to wear it on appearances. I was really very disappointed.
It's not out in the car.
I'm bummed too.
No. I was hoping to at least frame it, like people do with like jerseys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then they're holding the steins and they're serving it up to you. We need to take ourselves a little break. We're running a little bit late, but we'll be back with Brittany Evans. We'll get into, again, if you're okay, because of the little treasurer
I'm going to
thing.
go compose myself.
Please get yourself together
Okay.
because there's men out there to titillate. And titillate we shall after this.
There's more coming up.
Hell yeah.
The Adam Carolla Show.
This is Robert Schimmel. Give Adam a call at 1-866-901-ADAM.
Robert Schimmel coming up later on this morning also. You can look forward to Dave's Jerk Report coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. And
Unless you're a jerk.
Yeah, then you're in trouble. Brittany Evans, 2006 St. Polly Girl in here. Cyber Girl of the Week on 97.1 Free FM. And justbrittany.com is where you go if you want to check her out. Brittany, a couple of things. First off, looks like a solid C cup.
Boobies!
Thank you. Wow, you're fast with that, Brian. And doesn't look like augmentation either. Looks natural.
Thank you. It's just a really great boob job.
Really?
Yeah.
It is a wonderful boob job.
Yeah, it's excellent. There's not a lot of gap in between.
Yeah, it's not all pushed. Here's the other thing too. If you push more than if you're an A cup and you're trying to go D, there's going to be trouble. Step up a cup. But let me give me the number of your boobus before you leave. I'd like to go look at the before and after pictures in their catalog. We have some time off coming up. I don't want a boob job, but I do like to look at the before and after
They
pictures.
should publish those.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they cut your head off in the picture so you
Don't
can
need it.
You could be anonymous.
Don't
yeah.
need it. I just go in and go, look, I'm considering a breast reduction. Can I see your before book? And they go, okay, well, we have our after. No, unnecessary. Give me the before. Stop wasting my time. And then I yell, clear out. It's a nice thing to yell from the receptionist room. Clear out, real loud. All right, Brittany, you're the St. Polly Girl.
Yes.
You enjoy St. Polly beer, I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course.
It's a great beer, is it not?
It was. I'm new to beer, and so it was kind of an acquired taste, as all beer is. And
we're old
but
friends.
once you
I could introduce you to some of my beer friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a new. We're not a beer drinker prior to this.
Prior to this, no, and now I love it.
You love St. Pauli, girl.
I actually do.
All right, good, because we're going to give you a little test. Brisket.
Are we really?
Taste test.
Oh, come on. Well, remember, I just said I'm new to beer, so that's my disclaimer.
Right.
Plus, we'd like to.
Oh, fun.
Like to get you lit up and see if we could get that tube top off you at some point.
It's not going to take much.
You can tell just by looking.
Yeah, we made it pretty easy. We given you 3 major beers along with St. Pauli Girl.
Now, I just want to warn you, usually I have massive burps when I drink beer.
Yeah, that would be hot. That would be
adorable
hot.
when a pretty girl burps.
So try the first first one. Tell us what you think. You can venture a guess.
I would say Bud Light or Coors Light.
Specific.
BL or CL.
Not bad. Not
now,
bad.
which one am I going to, number 2?
I'll go to number 2.
After Bresca touched the rim. Sure tastes great.
That would be St. Pauli Girl or possibly a Heine, but I think that's St. Pauli Girl.
All right.
I mean, this
Noted.
one, this third one, I could pretty much Guinness.
Yeah, but drink it. Drink it.
No problem.
She's a smart cookie.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't either. It's a turn off. I don't like. First off, you came in here speaking English, so I was upset
Can
at the
I keep on
beginning.
going?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the last, is that the last one, number 4?
I'm kind of thrown off. My palate is a little jacked up
we
right
should
now.
have had a water. Here, rinse with this.
Oh,
you know, to
thanks.
cleanse the palate.
Cleanse your palate.
Giving her some water.
Okay, let's see.
Want to try 4 again? Would you go back to 1? Where are we at
That's
there?
4 again.
That's 4. What do you think?
I don't know. It tastes funny. What do you? What is that?
Interesting. Well,
No,
there's nothing in
I've
it.
still got the Guinness thingy.
Still in your mouth.
It just saturated my tongue. I should have done that one last. Okay.
Give her a sprig of mint.
Are we sure this isn't like anything really bad?
There's a couple of roofies in there. No big deal. I'm going to give my clear out call in a second.
I don't know that I'm familiar with
Number
this.
4.
You don't like number 4.
Number 4 is a question mark.
Yeah.
You want to put a question mark?
Wait a minute. Don't tell me that one is the. No.
Do you like it?
No. Don't tell me that's not the same.
I don't actually know.
Well,
Maybe
now
that's
you
a
know because
non-alcoholic.
Bresca was. You
That may
don't
be why
like
I'm
number
not-
4, right?
Could this be a
Are you telling me that you don't like number 4? Number 4 is your beer.
this is good.
Hey, you are the St. Pauli's girl,
This is
and number 4 is St. Pauli's girl, and you don't like it.
Maybe it's the non-alcoholic one. I'm not familiar with
listen,
non-alcoholic.
Poker Face. The idea is she's not supposed to know.
It's a great show. A lot of fun.
Yeah, great. If you guys just set me up to.
We also got to move on.
All right. Number one is Miller Lite. You had Coors Light and Bud Light.
but they're
You
the
danced
family.
around it in the family.
It's in the family.
Very astute. I said we got a ringer here. Number 2, one of my favorite beers, which you thought was St. Pauli Girl, was in fact Sierra Nevada.
Ooh, oh no! Oh
Sorry, your arch nemesis.
Things are not looking good.
It's not looking good.
Yes, I don't know if anyone has seen the Sierra Nevada Girl. Butch lesbian, hairy pits, thick tree trunk legs.
Bresca?
Almost modeled loosely after Bresca.
no.
Wearing cutoffs and a wife beater. She's a tough lady.
I'm chubby or I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, Sierra Nevada went, and they want an actual lesbian left out in the wilderness. I don't think it was a great angle from a marketing standpoint, but your beer has to be good when you go with that. When you have 190 pounds worth of poster girl, you have to have a good product.
Sure.
Guinness, of course, was number 3, and number 4, the one you didn't like, St. Pauli Girl.
No. I said I couldn't place it.
You made a little bit of a face, like you
made
were
a
tasting
puss.
something funny.
You know why? It's because I can't stand Guinness.
I gave you the
That's
water.
why. Because irrelevant. I mean, that's such a strong beer.
Ted can't stand it so much, he just chugged it.
it for
Oh, thanks.
All right.
I love St. Pauli Girl beer. It was delicious.
Well,
Yeah, when the label's on it.
your lips say it, but your tongue says something else.
Oh, thanks
All
a lot,
beer is
guys.
good.
Thanks
All
a
beer
lot.
is
All right. Well, now that we've gotten you fired, Brittany Evans, everybody. JustBrittany.com is where you go to get a picture of this lovely, lovely lass. what a sense of humor. Thanks for playing along with us.
Yeah, thanks for getting me fired. I appreciate it.
Good
And
luck
hopefully
on
you
your-
have a internship for me in the future.
I got a place in my car for you. Forget about this building. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with news, yes?
Oh, Liz Taylor dropped a bombshell last night on Larry King. And what exactly went on in the delivery room when Angelina Jolie's baby was born? I've got big news on that.
All after this.
Or get you fired from work.
Can't get enough? Check out Adam on the web at adamcarolla.com.
I never got past high school math, so I'm not sure what pi is exactly, but any equation that involves dessert, I'm in for.
Adam will never run out of opinions. The Adam Carolla Show.
It's the Adam Carolla Show. Call Adam Carolla now. 866-901-ADAM. I'm hungry.
Well, what do we have coming up? Name Teresa Strasser's vagina. We're going with a band theme. Speaking of bands, one of my favorite bands coming in here, going to do an acoustic set just for moi. Toad the Wet Sprocket. They're back. They're playing.
Which is, by the way, a good starting off point for Name Teresa.
I was just thinking that. It's not a bad name.
You're going to love these guys live. Dave's doing his jerk report, and also one of my favorite comedians, Robert Schimmel, in studio. But first, it is time for Teresa Strasser with the news.
I need my song.
Uncomfortable.
I'm all thrown off now. After nearly 4 hours of deliberations, a Maryland jury convicted Washington area sniper John Allen Muhammad of 6 killings yesterday. He will likely be sentenced to life in prison without parole. Muhammad acted as his own attorney, and during closing arguments, he shouted and reportedly quoted the Bible, Mark Twain, and Groucho Marx.
Haven't people ever done the be your own attorney math, when it comes time 0 for 190 on being your own attorney?
Has anyone ever beaten a case as their own attorney?
I've never heard. If it has happened, I've never heard of it. I remember though
in the movies though all the time.
Yeah, well that works. Yeah, when I was watching this case go down, I think I was actually doing Stern. I know I keep bringing him up this morning, but they were saying when this guy was on the loose and killing people randomly, what do you say to your kids? How do you talk to your kids about this kind of thing? Because kids are freaked out. People are getting shot at bus stops and at gas stations.
Right.
They think they're next. They can't do the math. And for those of you who have kids, this happens all the time. There's some maniac on the loose. Your kids don't realize they live in a society with millions of people and that there's a 0.0% chance it's going to be them who gets in this guy's crosshairs. They think, I'm next. I'm going to be walking to school and I'm going to get shot. How do you talk to your kids in a positive way about this? Here's what I said.
Well, pretend that you're talking to
me, Daddy.
to the twins.
Okay, go
Daddy,
ahead.
I'm very scared. There's a sniper killing people all over.
He only kills kids that don't clean the room.
Well played.
That's so.
All right, now
chill.
Now people think, oh, what an animal. Who would talk to their kids about this? Well, wait a second. I get the clean room. You get peace of mind. You weren't going to get shot anyway. It's not like you were going to run to school in the serpentine fashion or something anyway. Here's what kids need. You go clean your room, and then I come in and I go, wow, you could bounce a quarter off this bed, little Teresa. You'll not be getting shot today. And then you go to school feeling good about yourself. I get a clean room. You get peace of mind. Everyone's happy.
Also, little girls who do their homework don't get killed by snipers.
It works for homework and everything.
Now, speaking of things that are a danger to children, Dutch pedophiles are launching their own political party. It's called the Charity, Freedom, and Diversity Party. Their goal is to change the legal age for sexual relations from 16 to 12 and legalize child pornography.
Dutch Pedophiles was the name of a junior hockey league I was in for a while when I lived in Philadelphia. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a professional thing. It's just a bunch of guys getting together. Having a good time.
Going Dutch.
Call yourself the Dutch Pedophiles.
In entertainment news, after 15 years on the Today...
there's no checking.
No hip checking.
No checking. We're just having a good time out there.
Right, just fun.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. Once in a while, guy get a lot, We'd have to talk to him.
Let's talk about something wholesome like Katie Couric.
Yes.
Today, she says goodbye to Matt, Al, Ann, and the NBC gang. She's leaving to become the lead anchor of the CBS Evening News, making her not only the first woman to officially head up a network evening newscast, but also the highest paid network anchor of any gender. She'll be making $15 million a year.
What a gig. Doesn't have to get up at the crack of whatever anymore. I was watching that with my wife going, oh, man, doing those morning shows. That's got to be miserable. And I went, I'm going to wake up in 3 hours. This sucks. No, I'm miserable. I was laughing at her a second ago.
As you're on your way up the stairs to bed at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, people out walking their dogs, and I'm going to bed. Putting the foil over the window so the light doesn't come through.
Liz Taylor went on Larry King Live last night.
Beautiful. Sorry, go ahead.
To dispel rumors that she's dying or that she has Alzheimer's disease. Apparently, these rumors all over the tabloids. She said she's not dying, she doesn't have Alzheimer's, but what really, really upset her was a question about her line of jewelry from Larry King.
This is costume jewelry, though, right?
What?
Wait a minute. These are diamonds?
You bet your ass they are.
Okay, all right.
Wow. My kettle.
Touchy.
Here's the whole thing with Liz Taylor. Maybe I'm too young because I don't remember her in her prime. I just remember the old crazy, sort of baddie, crazy-haired, jewelried up one who was hanging around with Michael Jackson. And every single time I would say to somebody, or especially some gay guy, what do you care about Liz Taylor for? When has she been relevant in the last 50 years? What has she done for this country? They always go, she was so beautiful in National Velvet. And it's was. All right, she was 11, and that was in 1921. Can we move on? I'm sure there's a lot of old chicks that were formerly hot in the 20s. What does that mean? She used to be hot when she was in her teens and early 20s? Why is she a national treasure?
Well, call me a gay man, but Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. She was so beautiful.
So beautiful in that.
She was.
Yes, before she wrecked her looks with prescription drugs.
Who is 25 and beautiful now that is going to fill that? Who's going to fill that in like 50 years that we'll be pining about and our grandchildren will be like, what are you, insane old man?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie is close and also leads me into my next story, which is... Okay, so little more information about what went on during the birth of little baby Shiloh, Angelina Jolie's baby with Brad Pitt. If you remember her brother James Haven from the Oscar that she kissed, well, he was in Namibia, not in the delivery room, but Brad Pitt was in the delivery room. Cut the cord.
Yeah, my wife jabbed me in the ribs when she heard about that because moments earlier I was saying, she said, are you going to cut the cord? I said, well, if no one else can do it, I'll do it. But as long as there's pros in the room who are professional cord cutters, I'll not be cutting any cords. And she was like, oh, okay, I see. And then when she heard that Brad, and by the way, Brad, if you're listening, stop pussing it out for everybody. You by your woman's side, you dedicated to your woman. Remember, you left your woman. Let's stop building this guy up. You can cut 1,000,000 cords. It's still not going to get you right. You dumped your old lady. Let's not forget that, all you ladies that are loving on Pitt for hanging out in the room and cutting the cords.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jennifer Aniston is like holed up in a hotel somewhere, sending her bodyguard out for newspapers about the baby. And
yes. You know what I was saying about Brad? Little more cheese cutting, little less cord cutting. Focus on cutting the cheese. That's what guys should be doing.
I know what you mean. It's more manly.
That's right. I'm going to break wind in the room when the kids are born.
Other baby news. Mira Sorvino just had a baby boy, and I have to say, craziest celebrity name I've heard all year. Johnny.
Out there. Boy, I don't even know how to spell that. We'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. And Matt Damon has a baby on the way. It's already named Isabella.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your favorite, Eva Longoria. She made the top of Maxim's Hot 100 list, and I know that you'd want to hear how Eva Longoria feels about being Maxim's hottest girl.
I think we need a recount. Couldn't believe I got number one last
year. 2 years?
Oh, blows my mind.
So blows her mind.
No. I put her. In fact, I'm glad you played that. She may resurface on the Jerk Report with a get out of jerk free card for acknowledging she's not the most beautiful woman.
Well, she's just being modest. Yeah, she meant number 2 2 or number top 5. And look, Maxim, you ass kissers, why don't you just print your top 100 publicists? Because that's what the goddamn list should be. Who's got the best publicists? Maxim's 100 hottest publicists who give us pressure and force their clients on us, and then we go ahead and put them at the top list. Who gave you the most pressure? Who did the most lobbying for their client this year? That's what, if Maxim had an ounce of balls on him, that's what they do. The hottest publicist of the year.
That's right.
Thank you.
Last night was the 2-hour premiere of Last Comic Standing. You were talking about it earlier. Here is hopeful Mark Price, who you may know from some of his previous television work.
People know me best as the guy Skippy from the Family Ties TV show. Hi, a lot of people want to know why I would choose Last Comic Standing to make a return to weekly television. And the answer is, it beats the hell out of getting on those giant scales with Chastity Bono. All right? Because Celebrity Fat Club is the other option.
So sad.
Skippy.
Yes, the mighty have fallen.
Bill Dwyer was terrific. I thought he was the best of the contestants I saw.
He was good, but I feel bad for people like Skippy that were on, top 5 sitcoms for multiple years in the 80s and pound. Now they're doing open mics. Very sad.
I know. And it was so sad when they cut to the faces of the losers that they made them go up on stage when they selected the winners. And I thought it was kind of barbaric. It was like picking teams in gym class.
So sad.
So sad. Former Brady Christopher Knight, who just came in here days ago, married former top model Adrienne Curry. This was Monday night, according to People magazine. The 23-year-old model met the 48-year-old ex-child star on VH1's The Surreal Life. The wedding took place in front of 250 people in the bride's hometown of Joliet, Illinois, and she carried a bouquet of black roses. She's kind of goth.
Why? What does that signify? Black roses.
I don't think she wanted to be totally traditional.
Yeah.
So,
she's showing she's got some edge. She's edgy. That's going to last 10 minutes. I was talking to my buddies, the Dutch pedophiles, after a scrimmage.
What'd they say?
They didn't hold out much hope for the kids. Not at all.
You mean the Brady top model marriage? You're not holding out hope for that?
It'll be over by this weekend.
Well, when he was in here, he did intimate that there was a vasectomy and
he seemed like he made a lot of money in other arenas, had his head screwed on straight, and this thing wasn't going to last. This seems like a TV ploy to me.
Well, you wouldn't be the first to say that.
Thank you.
I'm Teresa Strasser, and that's the news.
It's time for Dave Damashek's number 1 sports. Number 1 sports. Do it, Dave.
I can't believe it. I no card from Brusca. Quick sports, short sports, so on and so forth. I just want to take a moment, bask in the sun.
We'll cross him off the jerk report, too.
Brian just got on.
Now that you mention him, speed it up.
Speaking of the sun, it was a glorious time in the Valley of the Sun last night. Leandro Barbosa led the way for Phoenix with 24 points. Suns get a very big win, 106-86 over the Mavericks. Series now tied at 2. This brings us to a huge Game 5 in Dallas tomorrow night. Shaq Fu and his Miami Heat pals up 3-1 in their series in Detroit tonight, trying to end it. Staying in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix Coyotes gave the great one, Wayne Gretzky, a new 5-year contract to keep on coaching, rewarding his mediocrity. Did they forget that they didn't make the playoffs and his old lady got him into a heap of trouble with this whole gambling scandal?
Well, he's the greatest hockey player of all time, David.
It's not his fault.
Don't start with me.
Okay.
Let's talk national pastime. Dodgers continue to play very nice with others. Last night, they bumped off the Braves. Arizona Snakes won 2. Their win over the Mets keeps them a half game up in the division. Padres' Chris Young took a no-hitter into the 8th. Didn't get it, but San Diego still won. We haven't had a no-hitter in baseball in 2 years.
Really? It's
Randy
been that
Johnson
long.
Was the last guy to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, Gigantics lose. AL Halo's heating up. They beat the Twinks again last night. Mariners and Athletics, not so fortunate. A great story from baseball, by the way. Have you heard about Cleveland Indians relief pitcher Scott Sauerbeck? He's in trouble with Johnny Law and, more importantly, his old lady. He's a married man. He was caught the other night at 3:30 in the a.m. He was caught swerving, driving down the road, or he was the passenger while another lady, not his wife, was driving his car. When they felt the heat, they got out of the car and hid behind a bush, and the police found them hiding behind a bush. I suggest going with the wasn't me defense.
Mm-hmm.
Or was just giving someone a ride home. She needed a ride.
At 3:30 and
3:30. Yeah.
I didn't want. I still don't know her name, but I didn't want her to get in trouble, so we hid behind a bush.
Yeah, and when the chick turns out to be 19 and smoking hot and has one of those ass tattoos, that's where the trouble. That's where the trouble
just
really
stick
begins.
with wasn't me. You stick with it long enough, eventually they got to believe it.
Right.
And yesterday I mentioned Ricky Williams.
We talked about. I just got to cut you off here and say that the black athlete learned this a long time ago and started speaking about himself in the third person. Karl Malone would never do something like that. You know, it's smart. The blacks realize, look, if we're going to make a ton of money and we're going to be athletes, we're going to be famous, we're going to go on the road, we're going to get laid, we're going to have a good time, we may get in a scrape with the law, we'll start speaking about ourselves in the third person. Then when we have to answer to the old lady when we get off the road, you just say, you were cheating. You know what? Karl Malone wouldn't do something like that, but I'll talk to Karl Malone about it if you like.
It's confusing.
It confuses the women. It's like you're talking about someone who's outside of the room. Whitey has not learned that yet. Even the white athlete doesn't do that.
Scott Sauerback was not in any bush at 3:30 in the morning. I mean, I don't mean bush.
Scott Sauerback would not do something like that. Right.
All right, now moving on. I said yesterday, Ricky Williams in camp with the CFL's Toronto Argonauts and their head coach, Pinball Clemens. Not as good a name as Bum Phillips, but still.
Still good.
Joe Theismann yesterday went on a self-righteous jag. Listen to what he had to say about Ricky Williams. You know, Joe Theismann, of course, before he went to the Redskins, people forget, spent a couple of years playing in the CFL for the Argonauts, and here's what he says about the latest, the newest addition to his club.
I don't ever want to be mentioned in the same breath as Ricky Williams as a football player. He's a disgrace to the game. The man doesn't deserve to play football. He should go on with his life and treat his drug addictions or go do whatever he wants to do. I mean, you know, for gosh sakes, let the kid go do what he wants to do. He doesn't want to play football. I'm embarrassed right now to be a Toronto Argonaut.
First of all, I think it's understood that if you are in the CFL or spend any time in there, you should be embarrassed about that as a football player.
Secondly, you're a Washington Redskin. You're not an Argonaut. You can't be both.
Yeah.
I say your skin.
Why can't he just have some class? Why can't he just say, Ricky, break a leg in the CFL?
Oh, please.
Zing.
Zing. Look, if a guy wants to smoke weed and do his own thing, so be it. Everyone drinks and does steroids. What the hell's the difference if a guy wants to smoke out a little spleef? It's his business.
Instead of the more you know music, just play my out music.
Dave Damashek's #1 sports.
All right. Well, Robert Schimmel is waiting in the wings. We're going to name Teresa Strasser's vagina. Toad the Wet Sprocket's going to play a little acoustic set for us coming up in the next hour. But as an homage to the band coming in, we're going to go with band names.
Oh, I
for
like
name
that.
Teresa's.
Can people call in if they want to name my vagina?
I think they should.
What number?
Well, they could call 866-901-ADAM. Remember, band names, the theme, I already jotted down whole.
I mean, that one's
kind
right
of a
there.
layup. It's right there.
Yeah, let's clear up right out of the gate. Well, let's not waste time with the obvious ones. Hole, Bush.
Right.
You know? No. The most obvious one is Nirvana. Thank you.
Yeah. Challenge yourselves a little bit. You know, I like Menudo.
What? There's 5 young men in there?
It's also a lovely dish made with cow stomach. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Name Teresa's Vagina after this.
You're listening to The Adam Carolla Show, where everyone is entitled to Adam's opinion.
Kathy Griffin, can we do a little free association with you
I
here?
love it.
Charlie Sheen.
Wouldn't you be afraid to even be in the same room with him without wearing a hazmat? Like, he's got to be carrying viruses, exotic
You feel
strains.
like a 30-pound crab could leap from his groin and wrestle you to the ground.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more of The Adam Carolla Show.
Let's not get off the very important topic of naming Teresa Strasser's vagina.
In Evanston, the Northwestern Wildcats used to play at Dyke Stadium.
Oh, well, that was only in my 20s.
But it's true. Phoenix, Arizona is a place called the Beaver Creek.
Solid.
That's good.
Solid. Obvious, but solid. Here's one I'm now in love with, the new front runner.
It's named the Port of L.A. All right? We're done. Are we done?
I like that, yeah. Well, Robert Schimmel waiting in the wings, also towed the wet Sprocket. Dave's Jerk Report. But first, we're going to continue trying to find a name for Teresa Strasser's vagina. We've moved away from stadiums and historic landmarks, and we're moving toward band names. I just jotted down a few. Tad has a few. We have callers that have a few. I just want to go first. I'm going to move from sort of sweet and sugary to horribly insulting.
Oh, great.
I'm going to start with cake.
That's sweet.
That's a nice name for vagina, huh?
Yeah.
Cake. Now it's going to get worse. Fish.
Okay.
Fish a little tough. Now here, you're going to have to do the math on...
But Fish has a lot of, dedicated fans.
Sure, Mike Lynch. Here's one. Here's the one. Again, this one you're going to have to do the math on. It's going to be a little tough once you've done the math on it. UB40.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, my vagina's got something to say. IB29.
Okay. Well, listen,
right.
what your vagina's publicist says and what your vagina's driver's license says may be two different things.
I at least B33. I hate that song now.
UB40.
My vagina misses when you were calling it cake.
Yeah. Oh, the salad days. Tad, do you have any for Teresa's vagina?
Yes, I do, actually. I have Dire Straits.
That's good.
There were a few years there.
Taco.
Is that a band?
Yes. Sure. Putting on the Ritz.
Wasn't that Falco?
Everyone thought it was Falco. That's the problem when Falco and Taco both have a hit in the same 18-month period, and that's the only hit they have. Then everyone gets their tacos and their Falcos mixed up. Yeah,
I got two more. Savage Garden.
I like that one.
And Psychedelic Fur.
I think it's furs, but
Tad. Listen, I don't know what it is with Tad. He's a savant with the vagina names. It's really remarkable.
A rare gift.
Yeah, he's going to parlay that into a small fortune.
How about the birds?
Yeah, that's good.
Wait a second.
Wait
a second. That's the other one.
Yeah,
that's the last one. That's right. Mike, caller Mike.
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
You got to know I love you, Teresa, but Cheap Trick.
That's good. That is good. I respect it.
Jeff?
Yeah?
How say you?
I say Big Country.
Wow, this is...
Don't make me cry again. I won't cry.
Let me throw out an indie band name.
Okay.
Built to Spill.
Built to Spill?
That's a real band?
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Dave, more impressed with himself as usual.
I was laughing at the lack of response I got from the audience.
Mike? Should be used to it by now. Mike?
No.
Yeah. How say you?
I don't feel good in the morning till I hear about her vagina. So
thank you.
It will be called The Cure.
The Cure.
Oh, I love that one.
That is wonderful. Let's see if we can remedy that good feeling. Mike? Mike?
Yeah, this one probably speaks volumes for me, but the first thing that popped in my head was garbage.
There we go. Now we feel better.
It's time for a nice one.
All right. Let's
Deep
see.
Purple?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Not bad.
Nelly Furtado.
I was thinking Pink Floyd.
That's a good one.
Craig?
Yeah.
Give Teresa a nice one.
How about G-Love and Special Sauce?
All right.
Okay.
I like that
It's
one.
involved,
That's a good
but
one.
it's strong. Now it's time to come plummeting back to earth. Scott?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, actually, it's Sky, like the sky, but I don't know if you heard of the punk ska band, The Real Big Fish.
Yeah, I think it's just Real Big Fish, isn't it?
Yeah, Real Big Fish. There you go.
In any case, I'm not naming my vagina that.
Do you smoke a little weed, Sky?
Just a little.
Yeah.
Adam,
well,
do you think he's
tell.
in junior college?
Jeez,
No, actually,
even
I work and race motorcycles.
Even they have standards, I was about to say. Whoa, you smoke some weed. What kind of racing do you do?
The motorcycle road racing where we drag our knees on the ground.
Yeah, that's nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, don't do that high.
Oh, no, never.
All right. Let's talk to Javier. Javier,
Yeah.
what are you going to call Teresa's vagina?
I'm going to go with Ruba Stank.
Wow, this is getting insulting. Let's
Okay,
see.
listen, let's bring back maybe Oasis.
That's strong.
Queen.
I got a good one here. Robert?
Yeah, you've got the Velvet Underground.
Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Descriptive and nice.
Mm-hmm. I got a good one here. Canned Heat.
Yeah.
I'm going to the country. They got a good song, too. Going to the country. That just sounds like a good euphemistic vagina song. Got to get away. Guy singing his weird falsetto voice.
Tad, Gap.
Yeah, I got
the Doors.
Gap Band, yeah.
Poison.
Nice.
That was before the antibiotics, Tad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's fine now. What else you got, Tad?
Oh no, I'm just throwing them out. I thought you were going to vocal. Okay, Jimmy's Chicken Shack.
That's a pretty good one.
That one's strong.
Muddy Waters.
Well, all right. Well, not a band, but a guy, right? But still good.
Breeders. I'm going downhill here.
No kidding.
You started strong.
Yeah.
Mud Honey.
No, Mud Honey's not bad for some reason.
I like A Taste of Honey, the disco band.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. Did they? Well, no. I'm thinking of Wild Cherry.
There you go.
Ooh, how about this one?
Good
The
band.
Temptation.
Except
Temptations.
Yeah.
Besides the singular.
No. You can't do that.
I'll
You
show
can't
myself to the door.
Faster
Please.
Pussycat.
Yeah, you can't do it. Tad, that's all you got?
Well, I got more here, but I was only told to pick a few.
All right. House of Pain. Yes?
Nashville Pussy.
Faster Pussycat.
There you go. Faster
All right.
A
Pussycat.
little on the nose.
Yeah. Let's talk to...
What's your favorite so far, Teresa? What's the front runner?
Adam's first one, Cake.
Cake is solid, yeah. Well, we have...
Even more than Chavez Ravine.
Well, when it comes to stadiums, Chavez Ravine is my favorite name for my vagina. And when it comes to bands, so far, unless anyone can top it, I like Cake.
I'm looking at Red Hot Chili Peppers, Smash
more a Wang
Mouth,
name.
The Flaming Lips, Pearl Jam. Yeah, Pearl Jam's no good, right?
That's all right. And Flaming Lips is great.
I wish I could say Blondie, but that wouldn't be accurate.
Yeah.
Skid Row.
Now, there you go, Tad. Keep going, brother.
Tad, you're back.
Josh?
Yeah, how about REO Speedwagon?
Funny, but it doesn't really mean anything.
That's kind of why it's... Where am I going?
I'll tell you where you're going. Iron Butterfly.
Sweet but strong.
Chubby Checker.
I might cry again.
All right.
Loving Spoonful. Marcy's Playground.
Who's Marcy?
Monster Magnet. No? Thin Lizzy.
Thank you. I like that. So it's got thin in it.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Ted. Well, that's nice. You only had 4 days to prepare. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. We're coming back with Robert Schimmel. Perhaps he can have a band name or two to add to
He's working on it.
Vagina's list. Will be, Kraftwerk. I don't know why.
With a K.
It sounds very technical, yeah. Take a quick break. Be right back after this.
The Adam Carolla Show. If you're going to wake up with a strange, hairy man, it might as well be him.
If you told me when I was 15, hey, you can just talk to people all day long on the computer, ask them anything you want, I probably would have done it. Only problem is you cannot text a handy. And that's what
Not
my
yet.
grandfather... I remember he sat me down many, many, many years ago, and he said, son, just remember on that computer, there's no emailing handies. And I really took it to heart. Yeah. Hold on, let us laugh for a minute.
Stick around. Headed your way, more on The Adam Carolla Show.
I rented a car this week, and they push that insurance on you on the cars. You know, hey, listen, for $9 extra, we can give you the insurance, and that way you have total coverage just in case you total the car. I said, I don't want insurance. I got insurance. He said, it's just $9 a day. I said, okay, I'll take the insurance for $9 a day. I gave him the $9, got the Ford Escort, and my friend and I went four-wheeling with this car all afternoon. Hit a couple of cactuses. I threw a cinder block through the back window. I took a on the back seats. I tore the door handles off, broke the car antenna off, poked a couple of holes in the gas tank with an ice pick, and then I took it back and I said, am I glad you talked me into that $9 thing?
Robert Schimmel in studio. Robert's going to be in Las Vegas this Friday and Saturday, the Monte Carlo. We welcome the show, by the way, Robert.
Oh, thank you.
Just wanted to mop up here with Teresa's vagina. I don't know why.
It's not every day I hear that.
Yeah. This is the band that sung the song Green Eyed Lady. Lovely, doom, doom. Real bass line. Sugar Loaf.
Yeah.
That is a strong name. That may be better than Cake.
That's
Sugar
a contender.
Loaf.
I like that.
Iron Maiden, Meat Puppets.
How about Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Nick Cave, Wu-Tang, Merle Haggard.
Looking Glass, which just has a strange one to it.
Did you say Merle Haggard? I can't just let that go by. That's too genius. By the way, well, we left out hip hop, and I couldn't believe no one got Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Lil' Kim.
Yeah, it's good too. Bob Schimmel has 6 kids, by the way.
Speaking of vaginas.
Mm-hmm. And I have 2 coming in the next week. Actually, what are we? What is it? 1 week from today.
Exactly a week.
Right.
Well, you have it planned for a week from today? Or?
Yeah. They're using a melon baller and taking them out one at a time. I got twins coming 1 week from today. So my wife did do the thing where she wanted me to cut the umbilical cord, and I just didn't want to get involved with that.
I did it the last time. I didn't want to do it the first few times, and they said, the baby doesn't know what's going on, and I started cutting it, and they give you these scissors, and I'm like halfway through the cord, and I'm going, I can't do this, and he said, don't stop. And I said, I thought they don't know what's going on.
Right.
And it feels weird to do it. The doctor should do it, not.
And by the way, it's sort of ironic that if your wife got shot by some gangbanger and you rushed her to the hospital and they threw her on a gurney and started wheeling her to the ER, you wanted to be with your wife. This could be her dying moments. They would stop you, Mr. Schimmel. Sorry, you're not allowed in the room. Please stand back. Let the professionals do their job. All of a sudden, when it comes to the kids, you're in there, you're delivering the kids, you're cutting cords, you're helping out. What the hell?
Yeah, well, when I had my last one, this is my second wife, and she's best friends with my 27-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. So my 27-year-old daughter's in there taking pictures of her friend's vagina while my baby's coming out. That's her half brother.
Very confusing.
Yeah. The pictures are, you can't show those to anybody.
No, and by the way, who wants to see them?
No. Because she wanted to videotape, and the doctor said, "Don't stop, because now the placenta's going to come out." It's like, I don't want to. I saw that one time, and I woke up about 45 seconds later when they were
really
holding
blacked
that ammonia stuff under my nose. Yeah, that looked like there were colors in there I never saw before. And they said, "Now you're going to see where the baby was living." And I'm like, "Wow."
Well, look, I know my wife's probably listening, and she's angry enough, but if you see a supermodel and you see her going down the runway, you're like, wow, I'd like to have sex with her. If you saw her dropping a deuce on the toilet or blowing a snot rocket into the sink or, flossing, you'd be like, geez, I don't know. Unless you're Chuck Berry and that's your thing. But you sort of look at them in a different way, right? Yeah. Chuck Berry, not a bad name for the vagina.
Right, I'll take it.
Point is it's sort of the same with the old lady, isn't it? Yeah. Vagina spread out, things, the anus and the vagina becoming one. All of a sudden, that land bridge being swept over by the ocean of blood, a stomach open, viscera hanging out. Really? Is that...
Yeah,
that's what we need to see?
The doctor said we're going to do an episiotomy, and they had these things that look like poultry shears, and they
yes!
They said we snip open the vagina a little so it doesn't tear anything on the way out.
You guys need to man up. She's the one having the kid, and the least you can do is cut the cord if it would make her happy.
But why do you have to look? Why is that somehow a loving gesture to take a look at that?
Because she wants him to be there, that's why.
All I'm saying
still there,
is you're forbidden from going into that room for all other procedures.
Yeah, they don't say, hey, your wife's been shot, would you like to remove one of the bullets?
Yes, if that child that is born and comes out with the help of the episiotomy, 5 years later gets smacked on the big wheel and you're dragging him into the emergency operator, you can't go in and hang out with your son or your daughter. Why do we need to be there at the beginning?
Yeah, and well, see, my problem was they don't tell you where to cut. So I didn't want it to have like an extra long belly button for a couple of weeks until it fell off.
Yeah, you don't want
to tie it with that stuff.
Oh, getting caught in door jams and cab doors slamming on it and stuff like that. Kid getting dragged behind a cab.
When he opened her up with those scissors, I said, I said, you know how to sew, right? Because, I said, I don't know what my insurance covers, but I'll pay out of pocket for a couple extra stitches.
That is what happens. They sew it back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's episiotomy.
Yeah, and you're in there for that part, too.
But then how were things after? Was everything back to normal with your wife?
Well, if you wait the amount of time you're supposed to, I guess it is. I tried it like 4.5 weeks, and
too early.
It was too early. It felt like I was parking a cocktail Frank in a 2-car garage.
Wow!
But isn't that
really takes the romance out of it when you reach under your wife's skirt and it feels like you're feeding a pony.
So sad.
Did either of your were any of your kids born by cesarean section?
No, and you're not allowed to be in there for that part. So.
You're not?
Cesarean, no.
Oh,
that's what
you can't be there.
I'm going to need a note from you,
No, you
Mr.
can't be
Schimmel.
Dr. Schimmel.
Dr. Schimmel says
they said that because it was taking a while on the first one, and they said if we have to go to a C-section, you have to get out.
Maybe that was just you.
Maybe that was just me. Then they take the kid out, and they work away.
Hey, funny man, step out.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, trying jokes in there is not the real... Because I remember when they started, I said, that's going to go back to the way it was, right? Because I don't think I'm going to be getting any bigger. And the nurse said, hey, let's watch it with that stuff.
She shamed you.
What? They don't want to hear it. They really don't.
So time now you lost one child to cancer, right?
Yeah,
so
that was in 1992.
6 children, 5 still with us, correct?
Yeah, one that's going to be 28 in June, Jessica. And my son, who's going to be 3 on June 5th. And then I have a 15-year-old, a 7-year-old, a...
Jeez.
What are their names?
A lot of range for a white dude. If you're a blues singer or something, no big deal. But if for a white stand-up comic, that's a lot of range.
Yeah.
3-year-old and 28-year-old.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's really something.
Are you one of those guys you always hear about, celebrities seem to have 2 families. They have older kids, and they're sort of the training kids, and I didn't do a good job.
Kids.
I didn't do a good job with those kids, but now my younger ones, now I've invested all my love into them. Is this the way, or are you even-handed?
I'm pretty even-handed, but my older daughter thinks that I'm not being even-handed because, these kids are getting stuff that she didn't get when she was that age, and they didn't exist then. And my career wasn't where it was when I started out as a comic with Jessica, who's going to be 28, and now I have a different life, and she's going, that's not fair. What? I didn't get anything.
Yeah, it's like
that.
Sweetie, they didn't have iPods, TiVos, and pants.
My 15-year-old, all of a sudden, when she wanted an iPod and she doesn't want to work for it, she developed a fear of flying and said, and I took her to a psychologist. I'm not making this up.
Wow.
And the psychologist said, if you get her an iPod, she'll be distracted by that on the flight. And I said, yeah, you know what? She can go by bus. I'm not going to buy an iPod.
Plus, she's probably listening to Skinnerd while she's getting on the plane anyway.
If I'd be happy if she was listening to that, because some of the stuff she listens to. First of all, she was doing that, whatever it was. I'm going to take her to the candy shop thing. Her and her girlfriend singing that in the back seat of the car. And I said, do you know what they're singing about? And she said, yeah, oral sex. And I said, okay,
How old is she?
You don't even lie and say no.
She was 9 at the time.
Yeah, she's 15 right now.
Robert Schimmel in studio. We have to take ourselves a break. We have one more vagina name for Teresa. Rich?
Justin Timberlake.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead with your Teresa vagina name, please.
Stained.
That's, bad note. Not as good as Cake or Sugarloaf, I would suggest.
Or Nirvana.
Yeah, Temple the Dog is up there. Not bad.
Madish Yahoo? You're Jewish.
Yeah, that's nice.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
The Adam Carolla Show. This is what a year and a half of junior college sounds like.
Hi, this is Jessie Jane, and every time I get invited to come to the Adam Carolla Show, I end up taking off my clothes. I mean, I have opinions on stuff.
AdamCarolla.com. It's so much better than internet porn. The Adam Carolla Show.
I took my daughter to the circus. She said, Daddy, how do they teach a bear how to ride a bike? I said, it's easy. They nail his feet to the pedals and they beat the shit out of him. He's not riding, he's running. He just happens to be attached to the bike.
Robert Schimmel in studio. Going to be in Vegas at the Monte Carlo Friday and Saturday. Did anyone mention Velvet Underground?
Yes. I thought that was an excellent choice for my vagina.
Might have been you.
Yeah. How about Meatloaf?
Not as fond of that one.
Not as nice, but solid, yes?
I just want to say that I think my vagina needs a makeover and needs to be more street.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking G-Unit.
It's good.
Or Iced Tea.
Sister Soldier.
That's good,
the
too.
Controversial Sister Soldier.
That's
Remember
good.
her from 1993?
Maybe Foxy Brown.
What the hell happened to Sister Soldier?
She went to war.
Yeah, she was like, she did rap. I don't know if she even had a song. She was just a proud black woman that said, Whitey must die. And she made the cover of everything. And next thing you know, Bill Clinton is like talking about Sister Soldier. And she's on the cover of every magazine and then gone.
Yeah.
A week later.
Got a little problem with the IRS.
Oh, really?
Robert has a daughter named Jessica who's a free spirit. Jessica?
Yes.
She's on the phone. We called her up in New York. Robert, your father, Papa Bob, said to give you a call just because you basically would say anything to anyone at any time.
This is true.
Good morning.
Now, Jessica, it's your friend that married Robert, right?
Yes.
And are you still mad at him about that?
On occasion.
Yeah. Because I listen.
I haven't really talked to him in a few days, actually, because we got in a little tiff about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd call.
How long?
We're not talking.
Now, you guys have been, we're here to unite and name Teresa's vagina. You guys have been married for a few years, though, right, Robert?
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years.
So what spurred a new argument about this?
You want to share?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jess, the reason why I told them to call you is because you're pretty honest on the phone, and they asked me if my first family was the training session for the second family, and I do all the things with the second family that I didn't do with the first one.
Absolutely.
You have some resentment.
Oh, resentment.
But you do feel like he was almost experimenting when you were young. He didn't have any money. He was not a great dad, and now he's number one papa, but you're way past your formative years, and the damage has already been done.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was complaining that he wasn't being a good father to my 7-year-old brother, and then I thought, well, actually, he never was around for me either, so maybe I should stick up for myself rather than the 7-year-old.
Well,
but, I'm over it.
How? Well, first off, Robert,
she's over it because rent's due tomorrow.
She should be, first off, you should worship her. You really should, because she set you up with one of her friends, whether it was intentional or not. She brought the chicken into the lion's den or the fox coop or whatever the hell it is.
The fox coop.
Whatever the hell.
Wow.
Good name for the vagina.
Yeah, that's
right.
Fox coop. Yes. Whatever works, she served her up to you.
Yeah.
Jessica, how did that work?
I was in college, and I took a part-time job working at a baby boutique up in Phoenix, and I went to school in Tucson, so I'd come up on the weekends to spend time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with her, and my dad just started coming around all the time, and he's never really had an active interest in my life.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly this he cares about. My birthday parties were not important, but the retail job.
Sure.
Suddenly he was around, and all of a sudden the next thing I know, I came into work one day and everyone's like, did you know that your dad's sleeping with our boss? And
Oh, no.
6 hours talking on the phone, and I was like, don't be crazy. My dad's just a flirty person, and apparently they were right. So
What did your friend ever give you any tip-offs about her attraction to Robert?
No, she was always very flirtatious with him, but she's, I thought that was part of, the sales thing, because my mom was pregnant with a baby, so I thought,
wow.
New information there.
Some baby stuff, and we get through to the dad who has the wallet. But basically, and then we'd go out places, and guys would hit on her left and right, and she wouldn't pay any attention. She would just say, no, she's not dating, or she's just whatever.
And you couldn't figure it out because she's attractive, and you thought she was single at the time, right?
Right.
Meanwhile, she has your dad's stink all over her. So sad. And Mom pregnant at the time. So now it's kind of here's it's an interesting thing because, my dad missed a couple of Little League games in 1971, and I still haven't forgiven him. I could only imagine him stepping out with my sister's friends. I mean, can you ever forgive your father for this?
Absolutely.
You can.
I have no issue with that.
It sounds like you do have an issue, though.
If I can ask, Jessica, you said there was a beef a couple of days ago. What happened then?
I have no issue with him and Melissa. I think they're fabulous together. My mom and him were volatile and abysmal, and but I have an issue with my dad. He has two younger kids, Jacob 7, Aaliyah 15, that he had before he had his new family. And, he hasn't been to any of Jacob's baseball games or parents.
Where does Jacob live?
Arizona, but it's a 50-minute flight. Come on.
All right.
50-minute flight.
And you're out in Los Angeles?
Me? I live in Santa Monica, and Jess is in New York.
I feel like, it's unfortunate for this poor little boy who's just an innocent bystander to not have an active father in his life.
Yeah, well, you're selling a lot of tickets, Jess.
By the way, Robert Schimmel, you can see him live in Vegas because he won't be at his son's Little League game.
Stay on the plane
Saturday.
Another 11 minutes on that plane, you get to your kid's house.
That's right.
So you got to stop.
Where is
and
he
make
now?
Money.
He's with you for the one, yes.
Oh,
he's with my dad for
smart.
10 days, but he goes to my dad like every 4 months.
So you don't think he's getting enough Papa?
Not at all.
I would make the argument that Robert's an unfit father, therefore he's doing his son a service by not seeing him. That's the angle you should pursue.
Yeah.
Jessica, you agree?
No, he's a good dad. I just think that it's hard because, he is, and I don't think it has anything to do with anything other than older dads, are in a better financial position. They do have more time. So he does have more time for his new he and his new kids. He has more time to spend with them. And I see him spending all this time. And I'm like, wow, you weren't even around when I was little. And you're definitely, like your other kids, in a different state.
I was on the road trying to build my career when you were little.
Yes, plus none of your friends had pubes yet.
Who reaps the reward of the career, the new family? The career he built on my time.
Wow. Wow, you built your career on Jessica's time, baby. I would say there's still some issues if you're going to look at it that way.
But it's not about him being married to Melissa. She's a wonderful wife.
Does Melissa, though, complain to you about him?
No.
No.
That would be uncomfortable.
How does your mom feel about your dad?
That's a whole other thing. I don't... she doesn't hate him. I think she loves him so much. You know how, you love someone not so much you kill them, like John Lennon's Killer?
Right.
So you're saying it'd be nice if someone just snuffed out Papa. I hear you. Hey, is there a stepdad on the scene? Is there any other male figure?
My mom has a boyfriend who is at all Jacob's Little League games and also on DVD of the pictures of the Little League games. And no, he's great. He's a wonderful guy. Both my parents are very lucky.
Does that make you upset, Robert?
Great people.
No.
That's nice.
Really?
No. Why? As long as he's nice to him. I've never met him, and I want to, but, my ex doesn't think that I need to meet him. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said there's no reason for you to ever meet him, and I said, yes, there is. He spends time with my son.
Right.
But if he's loving to him and, makes my ex happy, then that's great.
All right.
No, we are lucky in a sense. Melissa and his name's Michael. They're both really, really good to the kids, which I like.
Yeah.
All right, and the blowout 3 days ago was over this, not spending enough time with Jacob, the young son.
Mostly.
Oh, wow. Do you have a name for Teresa's vagina?
Yeah, they're trying to name her. They're trying to think of...
Yeah, Jessica, I'm sorry to drag you into this, but I'm Teresa Strasser, and they've been naming my vagina after band names. The current leaders are Cake and Nirvana, but there have been some uncomfortable ones for me.
How about Wham?
Hole.
One of my earlier efforts. We have one
Excellent.
up here, Shaggy. Sounds nice. Romeo Void. All right, Jessica, I'm going to let you lick your wounds. Perhaps when you're sending the rent check this month, Robert, you should tack on...
You have to pay my
Wait
rent.
a second. Is there...
You should be paying the rent, and you should tack on a couple $100 for therapy as well.
Is there a green handshake from Dad to you?
A what?
Green handshake. Is he giving you any help?
No.
Financial?
He, with medicine. It's medical issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Please, he has a new wife who, she wants the same things I want, the cool clothes, the cool things. I've learned a long time ago, you're never going to win against the guy your father's sleeping with.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta
or even a girl. Right. Uncomfortable.
I'll just go cry in the corner.
The more you know.
That's right. These are. And by the way, when they're doing these PSAs, instead of Donald Trump going, "Don't smoke. It sucks the air out of your lungs." Why not get Jessica on there?
That's useful information. The girl you're sleeping with is going to get. The girl your dad's sleeping with is going to get all the nice clothes and stuff like that, and you're not.
That's right.
Were you getting all the nice stuff before her?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wrong line. Jessica? Jessica, you there? Were you getting nice things before this?
No, definitely.
Well, there you go.
Not necessarily from him, but definitely.
Wow. Bitter. All right, Jessica.
All right.
I hope you're hot with that attitude.
Yeah, no, she's great, but she still likes the guy that didn't buy her Valentine's Day present because he spent all his money at a strip club like the night before.
Like him? Dating someone
Came
else.
home and had the receipts from the place on him and sparkles or whatever.
Hey, buddy! We got Robert Schimmel's daughter's boyfriend in here now. Let's give a little toast. Hey, Johnny, keep those receipts, buddy. Those are right on. Jade, stage 4. Jade, blah, 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 blah. Look at your granny, drop your linen. I can only imagine that's how it went.
So you don't approve?
No, he's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you must know, a couple months ago when I was unemployed, he's the one that lent me money for rent, not my father. So.
Was it in singles?
All right. No. Listen, Jessica, let me give. I'm not joking anymore. I used to do a dating or love advice show for many years. I can tell you this.
She called in once. When I
she
was
did.
on with you. Yeah.
Oh, then
I can see it helped.
Your world will be colored by your relationship with Papa Bob, growing up, having him being absentee. Not all men are as bad as Robert Schimmel, or as funny. Going to be at the Monte Carlo this weekend, by the way, Friday through Saturday. But they're not all your dad. Don't pick the bad boys. Don't pick the troublemakers.
The other day, he goes, girls with father issues, they're great in bed, but you don't want to marry one.
All right, pick a nice, boring guy.
Wait.
The more you know.
Wait a second. Are girls with father issues better in bed?
Yes, girls with father issues are better in bed. They're better in bed. They're better in the kitchen. They're better in the entry hall. They're better when they're getting the mail out of the mailbox on the street. But they're not great wives because eventually those issues come to the surface. They bubble to the surface. They're not attracted to nice guys. They call those guys boring. They want exciting guys. They end up marrying a guy that ends up cheating on them, whatever. It ends up being just like Papa was. So, Jessica.
Wow.
Find a nice, boring guy to settle down with.
She was the guy that she was going out with this whole time. I mean, when she was in college and everything, the guy that's on my CD, Steve, he was like a model, like the perfect guy. I would have been so happy if she married him. And she said, he's boring.
Yeah,
she said he's a nice guy. I swear to God, he'd be a great dad, but he's boring, and I want excitement.
Get it out of your system, Jessica, and then marry the boring guy. All right?
I know.
Okay.
Ruined me.
All right. And look, I would suggest that if a guy brings home receipts from the strip club, not only is he not only is he crawling around with other chicks, but he's stupid. You know what I mean? That's my big beef. A guy that dumb to put the receipt in his pocket and bring it home.
And now it's Valentine's Day?
I feel like this boy's going to soon be paying to see my sister, who, by the way, lives with my dad. He's going to be a pole dancer in about 3 years. So.
Really?
More you know. Now, how old is she?
15. She lives with me.
And so what? So the minimum pole dancing age, 18 in Nevada?
I don't know.
Oh, she's living with you.
She's living with me.
Oh, okay.
Me with Thirst and with my new wife and the 2 little ones.
Well, why does Jessica think she's on the road to pole dancing?
Hey, what's her name, Bob?
Aaliyah.
Hey, buddy. I'm going to change her name. I want you to work. Welcome Turquoise to the stage. Yes. Showbiz absentee fathers on the road 300 days out of the year. She's going to be compensated with her sexuality. Jade, stage 3. Whoa, blah, 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 blah. Businessman's buffet. Whoa, blah, 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 blah. You're dancing Poughkeepsie right now with Chuckle McPhee's, but what he don't know, you can enjoy. Regenerous fellas. Angie, stage 1. I like when they have to take care of a little business in the middle of the rant. All right. Well, Jessica, your candor's refreshing. And I hope you work things out with Papa. And again, get it out of your system. Now you're 28, right?
I tried. That's why I called him. I said, look, I think I can be honest with you. He didn't think so. He told me if he won the lottery, he was going to move to Fiji and never talk to me again.
All our fathers have told us that at one time or another. My dad gave me the Fiji speech just last month. All right, Jessica, this is sad. We have to take a break. Hang up and call a therapist.
All right, sounds good.
All right, baby. He loves you.
Love you, Dad.
All right. Well, actually, it's all better now.
You do love her.
Yeah.
It's obvious that you guys are very close.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
No, she's just...
Did you really say?
I said, well, because, when you get married, it's not only your wife, it's everybody else in their family, and it just doesn't stop. These people aren't in show business. I perform like at the Monte Carlo, and they come up and go, gee, I'd love to come see your show, +3. And it's like, where did you learn the +3?
You're right.
I mean, how do you know that when you're working at the parts department at Toyota? And
I'll have my publicist call yours. Robert Schimmel, Las Vegas, this Friday and Saturday at the Monte Carlo. Robert, I hope you patch things up with all the folks that are related to you on this planet. That's my sincere wish for you. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Jerk Report. Dave's famous Jerk Report after this.
You're listening to the new Adam Carolla Show.
This is Dave Attell. Give Adam a call now at 1-866-901-ADAM. And some flunky intern's going to pick up the phone and put you on hold. And you'll have to listen to probably Air Supply. It's worth it.
If you're going to wake up with a strange, hairy man, it might as well be him. The Adam Carolla Show.
Jerk!
The Jerk Report. A severe penalty for being a jerk.
Yes.
The Jerk Report.
If you think you can get away with acting like a jerk, incorrect, jerk.
The Jerk Report.
The Kentucky Derby winner, Barbaro. This horse, he broke his leg. They say, well, we don't know if he's going to survive because he doesn't know how to walk on 3 legs.
Right.
What's with the horses not knowing how to walk on 3 legs?
I know.
Take a lesson from the dogs of the world, horses.
Yes.
People say you're majestic. I say you're a jerk. Judge rules.
Wow. So, but when you're hearing it in real time, sometimes it doesn't sound as poignant as it does when it's played back.
It loses something.
I think we've also learned that the only thing more annoying than my voice is my laugh. I hate to have that thrown in my face.
I thought that was me. And I realized, well, no, why would I be laughing at that? Sorry. Where were we? Dave's Jerk Report is coming up momentarily. First, disgruntled Kathy is on the phone. Kathy?
This is Kathy.
Kathy, you don't like us naming Teresa's vagina?
I do not.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Well, I think it's very inappropriate. There's a lot of young children that listen to your radio station. I have 3 children. They listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's inappropriate things on here, which, I say things about, but not like this.
Mm-hmm. Blue Oyster Cult just jumped to mind. I don't know why. it's wordy.
Shaka Khan?
I
Yes.
figure that if she needs it taken care of, you guys could take care of it.
We could take care of the naming off the air, perhaps, you say?
No, you can take care of Teresa's vagina.
Well.
Wait a second. That's inappropriate.
Yes.
Oh, no. This is an adult conversation now.
I see. You have young children.
Well, do you have a name for my vagina?
No, I don't. I just think that you guys should just, I can go with some names, but I don't even want to go there. I just think it's very inappropriate. I work with CPS children that have been taken out of homes for things like this, with their parents talking about things, and...
Well, I think it's... I think their parents are more action-oriented. It's not just the words. It's not, I tell you, I will molest you. Do not get me. I will get off this sofa and molest you. I think they're actually doing things.
Yeah, I think it's Daddy's going to touch Nirvana.
Yeah.
No, it's not always. Believe me, mother's always a lot of times involved too. Sisters, nieces. You'd be surprised.
So you work with the Child Protective Services?
I sure do. I'm one of them that go and collect out of homes. Unfortunately,
That's a tough job, isn't it?
Very much so.
And do you go to the same homes, over and over again?
I go to about maybe a dozen of them every other week.
Yeah, but you visit the same families frequently.
Yeah, quite a few.
I have this theory, really, and I know people think, I'm a cross between Hitler, Dahmer, and Stalin. But here's basically my theory in life: there's less than 5% of the society that is effing it up for all of us. Way less than 5%. The reason when I call 911, I get a busy signal. When I call 911 once every 9 years, I get a busy signal is because the cops have been dispatched to the same goddamn house for the 4th time in as many weeks. My plan is, instead of build a society around that 5%, we need more prisons. We need more social workers. How about we crush them?
Right.
How about you show up with a dart gun filled with Norplant and shoot the bitch who keeps crapping out these kids stepdaddy abuses? Robert Schimmel wasn't there, was he?
See, this is more of the type of show that this woman is requesting.
I see. A softer show.
Kathy, how do you feel about just shooting him up with the Norplant?
Well, you know what? I have an ex as a criminal attorney that works this stuff all the time, and I agree. Just like, he's working on a case right now for child molesting. The judge keeps saying, let's take it further and further. No, there should be a separate room. I would take care of them in a certain way.
Really?
I
like that. It's nice, though, every time somebody suggests that these folks should be fitted with some Norplant, those pussy ACLU fairies chime in and protect these people. You're doing the Lord's work, you pusses.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's how it works.
And Kathy agrees. She's on the ground.
Yes.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I work with it every day, and if I could say more when I go out to some of these people, and even the cops, they're the biggest liar out there.
Lord's work is a good name for a vagina, too.
What are the cops doing, Kathy?
Having donuts.
They're having donuts.
You don't know they're helping.
Donuts.
They're not helping.
No, they don't help do nothing.
Okay. Do you have children? You're not teaching any of these kids grammar, are you, by the way?
I have 4 children.
Uh-huh.
I raise a friend's 2-year-old daughter that I just took custody of last year, and I've had her since the day she's been born. Been trying to help the mother. She can't get off the drugs, so I just took her full custody.
You're doing the Lord's work, as we said earlier. Are you heavy set, gal?
No, I'm not.
Shocker.
Tall and thin.
Wow. With weird teeth?
There you go.
Thank you. Do you have a man, Kathy?
Single.
Shocker. Would you like us to set you up, or?
I would love you to.
You deserve it. You're taking care of 4 kids, and some of them not even yours. And
you know what?
2-year-old.
I like this lady. Let's name her vagina.
Okay.
Kathy, I've got a name. We were doing band names, and there's one that just, it was a horrible oversight that no one chose. How do you feel about Kiss?
There you go.
All right, baby. Well, look, we turned her around.
Yeah,
She
I thought she was
called
gonna be
in
angry.
to complain. Turns out she works with the needy and just needed. All she wanted was a little love, someone to reach out to her
I
vagina.
hereby declare her vagina's name Bad Company. Or Boz Skaggs?
I don't know, but I nominated for Vagina of the Month. Get a picture of it and put it up on the wall in the office, Prescott. All right, now it is time for Dave Damashek and his jerk report.
Let it begin.
The Jerk Report with Dave Damashek reporting.
You don't tell me when it begins. I begin.
Evidently,
Then I feel it's right.
You don't tell Brian when either.
Let's move past that ugliness. And by the way, this was a tumultuous week, as everyone knows. I'll get to that in a moment. All I do want to say is, though, beware your foul behavior, because my eyes see all. I am like Sauron atop my tower. Except I'm not looking for some dumb ring. I'm looking for evil and shame the devil if I lay my eyes upon you. Now,
This
I will
is
begin.
damn exciting stuff.
Brian, right out of the gate? I don't like that. You're supposed to be my Chewbacca. All right, now let's start with one quick one from the message board. B Train nominates, I hate to say this right out of the gate, Oswaldo.
Why?
Because of the X-Men thing. He announced who gets killed, what characters get killed from the X-Men. Listen, I don't want to, but the people have spoken. Ozzy, jerk.
Sad.
I don't like it. You understand?
Sad, yeah.
Now, I shall reward someone with the coveted Get Out of Jerk free card, whose holder, of course, can play said card should they become a jerk at some later date. This week, it goes to the late, great actor Paul Gleason, who died just a couple days ago. Let's hear a little of his work.
The next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
Yes, never played a nice guy in a movie.
Right.
And in fact, always was a jerk in a movie and enhanced our movie viewing for his inclusion. I say, sir, you were a jerk, but ironically, that gets you, as you go into the hereafter, the Get Out of Jerk free card, and you will need it, sir. Good for you.
Do you think God has a jerk report?
Yeah, it's called hell.
That's exactly right. Exactly
irony.
Right. Now, we're down to the last two nominees right out of the gate. It's nice and tight this week. And by the way, as a little side note, the reason it's short is because Brusca said 22 minutes was too long last time. I said I need 113 minutes minimum.
Sure.
However, he said, no, keep it. You got to keep it tighter, Damashek. You got to tighten it up. You know what I say? Jerk. All right. As I say, we're down to...
Adam also said it was too long. Is he a jerk?
I said it felt long because it was long.
Careful, Adam.
Sorry.
Be very, very careful.
Sorry, don't wish me into the cornfield. It was a real good thing what you done.
Thank you. Last two nominees. It's time to announce the Creep of the Week. But first, the runner-up. His name, Dave Damashek.
Wow.
That's exactly right.
A lot of guts.
For reasons that have already been discussed, the Discord, my inappropriate remarks. Now, I know some would have me suffer the ignominy of plummeting from last week where I claimed the coveted Get Out of Jerk free card all the way down to the shame that is Creep of the Week. However, and I'm going to have to check the bylaws on this, but I'm pretty sure that this works. I believe I can play the Get Out of Jerk free card much the way a frequent flyer would play their miles to upgrade from cabin, from coach to first class.
Hold on, there's something under first class? Because I've never been to the other part of the plane. I thought that was just where they kept my bags.
Wealthy people, affluent people sit up front.
Yeah.
The majority of people who don't have as much money sit
But is that just where they hold my food and put my bags and stuff?
They actually have a name. They call it Coach.
Right.
Coach. The name they make my luggage.
Normal people.
Wonderful
it's
luggage.
part of the plane.
And they make my wife's handbags.
Yeah, it's the same name.
I don't understand.
I've been on a plane with you before, and you know how you sit down in that cozy seat, and I'll see you when we land,
where
kind of thing, and I go. I disappear.
I thought you just took an extra long plop. I didn't know where you were.
Live and learn.
Well, anyway, you guys should fly first class. It's better. So it's champagne.
The point is that it's expensive. It's way more money.
It's like $8,000 to fly to New York.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money for.
But that's like not even one bundle of money.
Yeah, but that's like people make 4 times that much over the course of a year. That's the average income in America.
Hold on, $32,000 for a whole year's worth of work.
Some people make half that.
But that's like not even 2 bundles.
Strange.
You want to know something I learned too?
Yes.
I learned the bundles come apart.
Yeah.
I've been buying stuff just in bundles because I didn't know you could break them apart.
Split it.
And the money comes out, comes in a bunch of different pieces. Right. And then here's the other thing that's weird too. Not only does the bundle come apart and the little pieces of money come in, so you could buy something. If you had to buy some gum or some mints or something, you could just use a piece, not a whole bundle. You could save bundles. You give them the one piece of the bundle, and then the guy hands you back some metal, shiny stuff that is worth less.
Those are coins.
Now you say, hold on, worth less than the piece of the bundle, but still he gives them back to you. They're heavy. I throw them out.
You got to get in touch with the people, man.
I don't know. I think I am.
Well, you do split the bundle open to buy you buy your own gum.
We're talking about keeping it real. I've been splitting the bundle for like a year now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Now, as I say,
I'll give you one bundle if you wrap it up.
Not
in
even
time,
half a
sir.
bundle.
In time, sir. Now, as I say, I'm going to play my Get Out of Jerk free card that I got last week to knock myself down from creep down to just a standard jerk.
If only you would explain the rules again.
I see.
Okay. It's kind of... Oh, Teresa. I don't want this. I don't want this.
No more F-bombs.
It has to be done. The people have spoken. Brian, please take your aim. And for the love of Christ, please watch the face. Go ahead.
Oh, turn the laser on himself.
And again.
Oh, that's too much. You don't. Now I feel
And
bad.
again.
Oh, David, no.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
I forgive.
What's going on? There was one too many.
All right.
Teresa's got the gun. Save yourselves.
I'm hiding behind Brusket.
Now, the creep of the week. Creep. As you know, Barry the Creep Bonds didn't come by that name by accident. No, he earned it with a remarkable 15 straight weeks as Creep of the Week. But last week, I opened the books, permanently put him into the Hall of Shame, and there he shall stay for all the time. However, his home run did lead to this week's recipient of Creep of the Week, this Andrew Morbitzer character. He goes out. Barry Bonds might hit a historic cloud, whether you're a fan or you wish to boo him upon the occasion. One thing you don't do is go out for beer and barbecue sandwiches. The ball lands in his lap. He's going to make a fortune as a result of having not cared about the game, the event that he was there to see.
Yes.
Listen, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many laughs you get out of it in front of the press corps. You, sir, are the creep of the week. That's that.
Well, there you go.
I meted out justice.
Fantabulous jerk report. Toad the Wet Sprocket coming in. Yes, Brusket?
For all of us at the Jerk Report, this is Dave Damashek.
Oh, sorry. I mean, to step on that, they're going to be playing live for us. If you, if you don't know them, and you should, or you've forgotten about them, be prepared to be impressed. They'll be in here playing live, and we'll be right back after this.
The Adam Carolla Show. Comedy, opinions, celebrities, news, sports, and so much more.
Let me explain the genius of Gene Simmons.
The powerful and attractive Gene Simmons.
It's like what Snoop Dogg did with pot. Snoop Dogg can smoke pot wherever Snoop wants to smoke pot because he is Snoop Dogg. Gene has done the same thing for his genitalia.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more of The Adam Carolla Show.
Nothing so loud, hearing when we lie. Truth is not kind, and you said neither am I. And the air outside so soft, saying everything.
Toad the Wet Sprocket in studio. You can leave it up. I want to enjoy it. Toad the Wet Sprocket is one of my favorite bands. Oh, we were arguing a few months back about our favorite bands, and I don't know, I feel sometimes I have to champion bands that I think are slightly overlooked. You know, I thought Toad the Wet Sprocket was a great band, had a lot of great songs, and wasn't on people's radar when they're talking about their favorite bands. Welcome to the show, by the way, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Dean, Todd, Randy, and Glenn.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
All back together. And I found out that our engineer, Mike, was friends with the guys. Well, he says friends.
Old-time friend.
Yeah, hey, dude, get me a beer. Is that what you said to him when he showed up at rehearsal?
No. He used to be at KTYD in Santa Barbara.
I saw him on the local cable access show.
Then you just thought.
I said, that guy's going places.
you guys are from Santa Barbara, right?
Yes.
Yep. The cradle of rock. Santa Barbara.
All the great bands came from there.
Sure, Zeppelin, Hendrix, yeah, they're all.
Kenny Loggins.
Something about it.
Christopher Cross.
Well, when you grow up on the mean streets of Santa Barbara, you get a rough edge and you bring that to your music.
Yeah, you got something to say.
Actually, we grew up in Goleta.
Oh, Goleta, forget about
the
it.
mean streets.
Forget about it.
Isla Vista.
Oh, I mean, you got the Gaucho College right up the street and all the badasses walking around in flip-flops.
You get lost on the wrong cul-de-sac. And it's fine. It's all over.
It's you sweat on the mat or you bleed on the street. That's what they say over there. You got mixed martial arts, all these guys. You got to be tough. You pick up an acoustic guitar and you fight for your life. All right, so anyway, when I found out the band was getting together, and by the way, not everyone shares my love of Toad the Wet Sprocket.
No.
We had an argument yesterday.
What is this?
I argue there's a lot of good bands out there that don't get played. I brought up Toad the Wet Sprocket.
I know them. I don't like them.
You've heard a couple of their songs on the radio.
I've heard full records.
Yeah. Painful. All right. So I argue that Toad, better band.
I'm sure, Ace, that you and the other girls of the sorority house love this music. Love to listen to this music.
There you go.
So whose ass are we kicking?
Damashek.
Right there.
That was Bruska.
We'd rather have girl fans than guy fans.
Good
anyways.
point.
Way better.
May I suggest the El Kabong move with the acoustic guitar if you're going to beat up Damashek?
Those aren't drumsticks, they're nunchucks.
Well, and it saddened me that maybe it was our own Dave Damashek that lumped you guys in with the music I hate the most, which is that important rock or that, I don't know, where the guys, maybe it's Train. I'm trying to think of the bands where the
Gin
guys
Blossoms is the one that I really took issue with, was that you were championing their music.
No, you started in on this song, and I said it wasn't a bad song. I don't know
Toad the
their
Wet
work
Sprocket,
well.
how say you about this song and this band?
Gin Blossoms?
We took them on tour, and when we had our first hit, so
I'm going to be under the
made them.
desk.
They're old friends. We broke
Go
them.
home and get your
And they're better
shine
fighters
box.
than we are.
All right, so Toad, you guys are getting back together. You're going back on the road.
Yes.
You're starting your tour up in June. You'll be crisscrossing this fine country of ours.
Yes.
And you're going to do a little acoustic set for us right now?
Yes. We will
You
play
have
little
a
acoustic
song, a montage?
We have a song.
A song. All right.
At under 3 minutes.
All right. Well, here we are, everybody. Toad the Wet Sprocket.
We spotted the ocean, head of the trail. Where are we going? It's so far away. Somebody told me this is the place where everything's better and everything's safe. Walk on the ocean, step on the stone. Flesh becomes water, water becomes bone. Half an hour later, we packed up our things, said we'd send letters, and all those little things. Smile just the same. Seemed that I already forgotten we came. Walk on the ocean, step on the stones. Flesh becomes water, water becomes bone. Back at the homestead, where the air makes you choke, and people don't know you, trust is a joke. We don't even have pictures, just memories to hold. Go sweeter each season as you slowly go.
Why are you clapping?
Yeah.
You made us.
Wait a second. Count me amongst one of your many female fans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Toad the Wet Sprocket, everyone. See? Made converts out of the room.
I have a name for
Fantastic.
Teresa's vagina.
Thank you.
yeah.
Can I say it?
Sure.
Wet, wet, wet.
That is a band.
That is a band? Then we'll accept
Wait
it.
a second. Hold on. You would rather me name my vagina that than Toad the Wet Sprocket? The greatest band of
I
all
didn't
time?
say that.
Okay.
I would never wish that upon you.
Yeah, we'll go with Toad. As a matter of fact, get it a T-shirt. All right, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Tour starts in June, goes across the country. Look for them coming to a town near you, and then out here at the Galaxy Theater in Santa Ana, August 19th. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you coming
Thanks for
in.
having us.
Great song, and we'll have you back soon when you come to this part of town. We'll take a quick break. Teresa, what can we expect in the news coming up?
Well, Last Comic Standing premiered last night. Some comics funny, some not so funny. We'll have that. And Liz Taylor, She took the cuckoo out of the clock last night on Larry King. We're going to play that for you.
Well, all that after this.
Well, all right. This is the Adam Carolla Show.
Adam Carolla in the morning. Hi, I'm Paul Rodriguez. You're listening to Adam Carolla en la mañana. See, the two L's become a Y. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, there's more coming up. The Adam Carolla Show.
This is James Lights Out Tony, heavyweight champion of the world. I'm looking for Adam Carolla. I need him for a sparring partner because he's been talking a lot of junk about me lately. So you know what? All you out there, listen to Adam Carolla.
All right. A little non sequitur there, but
mixed message.
Well, lets his fist do his talking.
Right.
That's right.
I do that too, but with a little lipstick and a Senior Wences kind of way. It's all right. It's all right. All right. Well, Toad the Wet Sprocket sounded good.
They were great.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tough.
Shut up, Dave. You hate them.
It's tough.
Untrue.
It's tough to, the acoustic guitar. That's the model under the bright lights with no makeup on. We'll see how she looks in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot of bands don't hold up very well.
I like that as a general rule. Can we do that more?
I dig it.
In here?
I dig it too. Come in and do an acoustic set. I enjoyed it. So we'll keep that going for you. But first, it is time for Teresa Strasser with the news.
Yesterday in Maryland, Washington area sniper John Allen Muhammad was convicted of 6 killings after a jury deliberated just over 4 hours. Lee Boyd Malvo, now 21, testified against the man prosecutors say was his mentor and manipulator. Muhammad acted as his own attorney during the 4-week trial and could now be sentenced to a maximum of life in prison.
I don't understand why this is in the news. Wasn't he caught like 3 years ago?
Yeah, he already has a death sentence in Virginia, but he killed in several states.
I don't understand why we have to do that. How many times can we drag this guy's corpse around and kill it again? Just kill him in Virginia and let's move forward.
Yeah, it is strange, but I guess some of the victims' families want, justice.
Well, good. Let the Virginia folks mete out the justice. And then also, how much money does it cost to fly these guys? Did you see Con Air? I've seen Con Air several dozen times, and I know there's a 50-50 chance of somebody taking over the plane. Good and point. Landing it on the Vegas Strip. My point is...
At least 50-50.
My point is, I love that on Con Air, where it's like, we're not going to be able to make the airport. We're landing it on the Vegas Strip. Well, the airport is 4 feet from the Vegas Strip. You don't think you could make it? You flew over the airport to get to the Vegas Strip now. We're going down here. Anyway, point is let them kill him in Virginia. Let's not pay for him to be flown all over the country.
Another man in jail, this one for killing his wife in Massachusetts. The man, a 57-year-old, is demanding that the government pay for a sex change, saying that if the state forces him to stay in his male body, it constitutes cruel and unusual punishment. Yesterday, according to the Boston Globe, a psychiatrist backed him up, testifying that the prisoner would kill himself without the surgery.
Here's the rope. Have at it. Have a good weekend. Here's my thing. You can get the gender reassignment. I love that euphemism.
Right.
Gender reassignment. Okay, vaginas over here. Penises. Let's move it. Okay, behind the rocks over there. Let's go. Let's focus, people. Hey, we got some vaginas in with the penises. Come on, let's reassign this area here. Hi, Madam Carolla. I'm your cruise director. I'll be assigning genders. Point is, I would give him the sex change, but leave him in the same prison. He cannot go to a woman's facility. So that's my deal. You want to become a bitch? So be it. You're staying in with the dudes.
That seems fair.
You will become a pincushion.
Well, the guy killed his wife, so whatever happens to him,
that's right.
fine.
Here's your vagina, and here's your jumpsuit. You're going back to the hole.
In entertainment news, last night, the big premiere of Last Comic Standing on NBC. Dave and I talked about it earlier. We loved comedian Bill Dwyer and also an unknown, a woman named Roz. I thought she was amusing.
And I'm going to tell y'all now, I ain't got jokes. I got problems. I know everybody ain't got problems. That's why I've been celibate for 1 year. Y'all give it up for a lady being celibate 1 year. That's right, ladies. I sell a bit and I give a bit away.
I didn't.
There's a terrible
You didn't
thing
like her?
to waste.
Well, I didn't see it, but normally Asian women don't do stand-up. I find that interesting. But
Well,
I'd
Margaret
like to see
Cho.
it. Yo, that's a good, touche.
Yeah.
Touche. I'm assuming she was Asian.
Right.
I don't want to stereotype.
Well, an obvious assumption.
I do not want to stereotype.
Well, last night, Liz Taylor went on Larry King Live to dispel rumors. She wants everyone to know she's not dying. She does not have Alzheimer's. Now, this was all a very neutral, casual conversation. What really upset her was when Larry King brought up her line of jewelry.
This is costume jewelry, though, right?
What?
Wait a minute. These are diamonds?
You bet your ass they are.
Okay, all right.
You know what it seems like? Larry King, first off, just seems like a cross between a buzzard and the Grim Reaper. It's like being interviewed by the Grim Buzzard. But I feel like if I took one of his suspenders, pulled it back, and snapped it, I would break 8 ribs on that man. I think that's how we would kill Larry King. Just pull his suspender back 6 inches, let it go. Poof, there'd just be a pile of dust sitting there with some suspenders and bad glasses.
I guess the suspenders, didn't the belt solve the whole my pants are falling down problem?
It's a look I think he's going for, and it's not working. And again, Liz Taylor, please. She was hot when she was 13. Let's get over it and move forward. And I'll tell you, it's the fault of the aging actresses out there. Nobody stepped up to take her place on the crazy old actress podium. Well, listen, old crazy actresses, for a while, Catwoman.
Oh, yeah.
Gave it a shot.
Betty Davis was doing it.
Betty Davis was doing it for a while. There was a time when people stepped up and were a little bit nutty, but no, it's just Liz Taylor now. Come on, ladies, let's go now. Let's focus. Postmenopausal old actresses, you know who you are. Step it up. Let's go now. I will reassign your old gender if I have to.
Okay, Katie Couric.
Old gender, that's the name of a bad clothing store.
It is. Old gender. Get your cargo pants. After 15 years on the Today Show, Katie Couric is moving on. Today is her last day. She's saying goodbye to all her fans at NBC. She's moving on to the CBS Evening News, where she will be the first female to officially head up a network evening newscast. And she will be making a whopping $15 million a year.
So sad. Yeah.
Are you a fan of hers?
Well, I'm not a fan of anything that takes place before noon, including this show. Really? I gotta. There's no place for art before noon.
Sure.
There just isn't. Music, poetry, comedy, even news. Nothing should happen before noon. That's
Fishing?
it. Fishing, possibly, but that's just late. I look at that as staying up late from the night before. I just hope when she leaves, she doesn't do that family stuff. Our family, your family, welcoming us into your home and that kind of stuff. I can't stand that.
Couric will cry. Will Lauer.
Let me tell you this. I'm glad he didn't do that whole welcoming me to the family here.
Yeah.
I couldn't, need to toughen me up.
Now go home and get your f***ing shine box.
That's what I got.
Let me float my Matt Lauer theory, and I don't know if you've heard it. I came up with it a few months back, but tell me what you think of it. My wife was watching the show with me, and she said, what happened to Matt Lauer? He was so hunky and so hot a few years ago. Everyone was talking about him. He made everyone's top whatever list of most beautiful whatever. And I said, I'll tell you why women aren't into Matt Lauer anymore. He started talking. He talks for a living. This is what he does. Much better to be your Johnny Depp type. Much better to be your Brad Pitt type. They're not flapping their jaws all the time, making asses of themselves, and then becoming human. Because that's what you become. You become a human being. Part of the allure of these guys that the women all lust after is the strong, silent type. They do their action movies and then they shut up when they start yapping. It's like Tom Cruise's stock dropped in the ladies department because in the last 6 months he's been all over the place flapping his gums, and now all of a sudden he went from heartthrob hunk to who's this crazy guy's jumping on the sofa. Matt Lauer does a job where he has to talk for a living. This is why I'm not attractive, by the way. Don't think I don't see the irony in this. But Matt Lauer, a hunky looking guy, a great looking guy, but he has to talk for a living. He became a human being, and now women aren't interested.
Funny you say that because I just added that reasons girls don't like Dave. Reason number 126. He talks.
He talks. Yeah.
Okay, I have a story out of Malaysia. It might.
What do you think of that,
Yes.
T? Does that make sense to you?
Well, I was just thinking about it as you spoke, and my boyfriend says about 9 words a month.
And you're into him, right?
Yeah. And then when he does speak, that just increases his odds of saying something that's going to annoy me.
Yeah, right.
I think you might be right.
Right, he's fueling the fire. And listen, guys, do not talk. And when you do talk, say things like, I'd like to open up to somebody maybe one day, but not now, not here, not now. You wouldn't understand.
I do think, though, that the whole women who don't like nice guys, that's not true.
Yeah.
Women do like nice guys.
Right. Okay.
And it's weird to go from that into this story. Okay. Out of Malaysia. A wife found a text message on her husband's cell phone from another woman. She got angry and jealous. So the husband tried to make it up to her in the most severe way he could. He severed his own penis to prove his faithfulness to his wife. The son heard some shouting, and there was bleeding and screaming, and finally the wife rushed the husband to the hospital to have his penis reattached.
Is it me, or is 2006 seen an exponentially higher number of wangs removed?
Well, when you don't have professionals reassigning the gender,
right?
There's
Amateurs.
trouble. Yeah, I tried this ploy with my wife. I got busted for cheating a few months back, and I offered her up a penis, and like, hey, here it is, baby. I cut my wang off, and she's like, since when is your wang black? And I'm like, oh Christ, I picked the wrong hobo. Think, Carolla, think, you idiot.
It was clever.
And I did that thing where I literally smacked myself in the forehead with the palm of my hand. I went, oh.
Cops say that people subconsciously give away their crimes so they can
maybe that was
you
it.
wanted to be caught.
Couldn't have found a white hobo. So stupid.
Well, what is with also the reading of each other's text
And
messages?
it was big.
And it was big.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
was the other
threw
one.
her off the...
Yeah. And she said it tasted salty.
Right. Oh.
Why she possibly ate it.
You know, some people bite it. Old times would bite a nickel or something to see if it. Well,
that's how you know.
That's how you know.
Should have trusted her instincts.
That's what I say.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Well, I just say if you're going to write text messages to your mistress, delete them, or you're going to have to cut off your own penis to make it all better.
Oh, who you talking? You're preaching to the choir.
Thank you.
Missy.
On a final note, baby news. We talked about this earlier, but baby Shiloh, Angelina Jolie's baby, was born, and it's now been confirmed that the baby was a C-section. The baby was breech, meaning the baby would have come out feet first. That's why they had to take her out by C-section.
By the way, when you go down a slide, when you're at one of those water parks?
Feet first.
Feet first! To me, the vagina is just a big water park slide.
Right.
It really is. It's Hurricane Harbor. The more you know. Instinctively, I would come out foot first. I'd say this is a water slide. I see some light at the end of this tunnel. I'm going foot first. I'm not going to get hit in the cabeza.
It's funny you bring that up because when it's time for me to make love to a woman, I go in feet first.
Oh. You know what, Dave? My cutting the hobo's black penis off joke was in good taste. You've now crossed the line.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, why the breech thing? Because the umbilical cord will get caught around the kid's neck?
You know, I don't. I was just thinking the same thing.
Stuff in the lungs, maybe the nose, stuff going up there.
Or maybe just
schnoz?
2 feet coming out first it doesn't quite fit through the canal rather than one head.
Right.
Seems like that would be, more streamlined.
I say you throw her on a paint can shaker and get this straightened out until the kid is repositioned. Just keep moving her around until the kid rattles around and then do it, right?
Yeah, they often reposition the baby to try and avoid the C-section because a lot of women just want to have a vaginal birth. But apparently this time they couldn't do it.
All right.
Also, in the delivery room, Brad Pitt cutting the umbilical
Such
cord.
a man. Doesn't talk, just cuts cords.
What about that?
So attractive.
Shiloh Jolie.
Shiloh Nouvelle, Jolie Pitt.
Yeah.
Also, her brother James Haven was in Namibia for the birth, but people will be relieved to find he was not in the delivery room.
Shocking, though. No other family members to make out with.
Well, there's Dad.
Well, yeah. And by the way, Dad and her don't talk.
No.
And it's really super creepy and weird. Her dad's John Voight.
Yeah.
Every time they talk to John Voight, he's saccharine sweet. It's like, hey, baby. And he delivers the message to the camera. Baby, I love you, and I'm so happy, and I'm so thrilled that she's having a family, and I love her so much, and I just love that. What's up? What's going on? Why can't you guys talk?
I think what happened was that her Jolie's mother, some kind of Canadian model, I think John Voight left her and the family.
She'll not forgive.
Right.
Much like Schimmel's child.
Exactly.
Will not forgive him.
It was a similar situation.
Bitch, Dad's a celeb. He's John Voight. Forgive.
Exactly. He was in Midnight Cowboy.
Forgive.
What more do you need? And
He's
the Champ.
The Champ. Forgive.
I love the Champ.
Schroeder loved him. You should love him too.
And on that note, I'm Teresa Strasser, and that's the news.
It's time for Dave Damashek's number one sports. Number one sports. Do it, Dave.
I'm like an abused child. I see Brusca with his head down and writing on a card. I'm worried he's for the inevitable.
I'm writing it for Adam.
All right, I didn't know. What did I just say?
And let's see what his note says. Tell Dave to hurry.
All right, NBA playoffs. Valley of the Sun last night. Leandro Barbosa led the way for Phoenix with 24 points. Suns get a humongous win, almost a must-win. 106-86 over the Dallas Mavericks. Series tied at 2. Huge Game 5 in Dallas tomorrow night. Shaq Fu and Miami Heat. 3-1 up in their series on Detroit. They're going up to the Motor City this evening to try and end the series and move on to their first NBA Finals and stick it to Kobe. Now, we'll stay in the Valley of the Sun, so I can tell you that the Phoenix Coyotes have given Wayne Gretzky a 5-year contract extension. He's a lousy coach.
Mm-hmm.
Overrated as a player.
Sure.
And they didn't get to the playoffs, and his kooky wife cost a scandal.
I couldn't agree more. Those 9 million goals he scored were all luck.
Yeah.
Luck.
Overrated. If he should be number 2 on the all-time list and everybody else puts him number 1, is that not there for overrating him?
Well, what team did the number 1 player play for, in your opinion?
He wore, I don't remember the name of the team, but I know they wore black and gold.
And perhaps
you know what? He played for the Penguins.
Pittsburgh
Penguins.
Well, shocker.
That's right. He was the best.
Shocker.
And didn't they call Gretzky the Great One or something?
They did. You know what Lemieux means in French?
No.
The best. That's right. Gretzky may be the great one, but Lemieux's the best. Good Christ, I'm gay. Oh, please. Gay. I am, but that's neither here nor there. Now, let's talk national pastime. Dodgers, very nice stretch going for them right now. They're a half game back. They won last night in Atlanta. The Snakes, though, also playing well, so they maintain their half game edge in the NL West. Padres, Chris Young went into the 8th with a no-hitter. He lost it, but they held on. They won in shutout. Gigantics lose. American League, Halos heating up. They beat the Twinks last night. Mariners and Athletics. They lost, but they'll have another chance, I'm guessing, in the very near future.
Yeah, I think they'll play. Again, though, fellas, only 100 games to go, so you really got to step it up.
A little more, but yes.
A little more than 100 games? Yeah,
Roger Clemens.
What are we at? Our teams, if you were 500, would you be 25 and 25 or 27 and 27?
They're roughly at about the 50-game mark.
Okay, so listen, only 112 more games to play, fellas. It's what I call crunch time.
All right, well, for these final 110 or 15 games or so, the Houston
really got to play ball.
Now have a little edge called Roger Clemens. Just came through. Rocket. It's official now. He is a Houston Astro. The Yankees, Red Sox, and everyone else was after him, the Rangers, but it's the Astros for him. Now, I mentioned that Ricky Williams is in camp for the Toronto Argonauts. He's playing football because he got suspended from the NFL for his drug abuse. But I played it earlier. I want to play it again because I found it really self-righteous and pious and annoying. And Joe Theismann should have been the creep of the week. Or should have been on the jerk report at the very least.
Well, he's a blowhard.
Yes.
Everyone who watches football knows Theismann's a blowhard.
Some people forget that he played CFL football for the Toronto Argonauts. He does not like that his former franchise has signed Ricky Williams. Here's what he had to say about it.
I don't ever want to be mentioned in the same breath as Ricky Williams as a football player. He's a disgrace to the game. The man doesn't deserve to play football. He should go on with his life and treat his drug addictions or go do whatever he wants to do. I mean, for gosh sakes, let the kid go do what he wants to do. He doesn't want to play football. I'm embarrassed right now to be a Toronto Argonaut.
Clearly he doesn't want to play football. Joe knows better than Ricky himself.
Yeah.
Let him do what he wants.
Also, he's not embarrassed about all the other guys in the league that have kids out of wedlock and beat the crap out of their wives. No problems there.
No, this is much worse. And finally, I'll just close.
Weed in the off season. God forbid somebody smoked marijuana when they weren't working. Wow. Tough. I mean, that's what the off season is. That's your weekend. They get 8 months worth of weekend when you're a professional athlete. You smoke weed. Why? It's so noble that you play golf. You play 150 holes of golf, play 5 rounds of golf, and drink a 12-pack. That's noble. He sits around and plays the bongos and smokes weed. All of a sudden, we got a problem with him.
Right. One could make a case that it's medicinal.
He's sitting at home smoking weed. Who cares?
Taking all those hits. And finally, I'll just say this because they were left over. 3 names for Teresa's vagina after bands. Ministry, if you want to go in a holy route.
I do. Nick
Cave and Yola Tango.
Dave Damashek's #1 sports.
YOLO Tango. We are running out of names because all I have is Paul Revere and the Raiders. That doesn't even make sense. Ray?
Yes.
Ray, you know why babies need to come out head first?
Well, I learned this in freshman health.
Okay.
All right.
It's the biggest part of the baby. I mean, it's like going down that water slide and getting to the end, and the opening narrows, so all of your body except your head gets out.
I see, but
that would suck.
Yeah, but also if you want, they have devices for women that are abnormally small downstairs, for instance.
I know all
for
about it.
childbirthing. I know they have just the opposite problem that you have. These are these things that are sort of cone-shaped. You don't start with the big end of the cone. You start with the small end of the cone. So doesn't it make sense that if something, like let's put it this way, if I was going to drop something out of one of my holes, I would not want the big end. I would not want to start with the big end and finish with the narrow part. I'd like to start it and gradually work up. Yes?
I disagree. I think you get the biggest part out first, and the rest just kind of slides out.
Right.
Yeah, it's just that getting the biggest part out first that's the tough part.
The head's going to have to come out sometime. It might as well be first, and then, stretch things out.
See, that's where I disagree, because my head never came out of my mother.
Still up there?
I wore her like a Shriner's hat until I was 11. It was unnerving for people, I must say, to see the legs walking around. And then as I got older and entered school, and then eventually started going out for sports. Oh, man. Although we were unstoppable in T-ball because my mom could wallop that ball up there. And then in first base, when the hand would slide out from under the skirt.
Impossible to hit one over
Some
your
would
head.
say that Dave's head is still up there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that was yours?
Oh, that was Brisket's.
That was Brusca. I figured as much. I knew from his delight.
Michelle?
Yes,
You have information for us about Angelina and Brad?
I do. But I just have to say that you are one insanely messed up guy.
Thank you. Well, we're going a little scat this morning. Although back to T-ball, we could block the plate like no other team. I would field the ball. My mother would just actually physically block it. I'd apply the tag. It was great. All right, anyway, go ahead, Michelle.
In love with you. It would be bad.
What's up?
The reason why Angelina is mad at John Boyd is because around the time I guess she broke up with Billy Bob, he started going on all these TV shows saying that she was crazy and he was afraid for her mental condition.
Yeah, that's true. And he made it sound like he was concerned, like, I'm just worried about you, Angelina. But if he was really worried, wouldn't he just pick up a phone and call her directly?
Yeah, but I think that's why she got mad at him.
Yeah, he was doing that thing where he made the plea to the camera, sweetie, we love you. I don't know. All actors seem to be so affected and so saccharine sweet and stuff, and he always does the thing. It's just weird to hear a guy talk about how deeply in love he is with his daughter who's not talking to him.
Yeah, it's extremely weird.
Okay, well, thank you for shedding light on that, Michelle.
Okay, and then when you and your lovely wife want another wife, I would like to come and be your extra wife.
Oh, really?
Utah.
What do you look like?
Like I'm beautiful.
You are.
Yes.
But none of that beautiful from the inside BS that supermodels try to sell us. So you feel beautiful, then you're beautiful. Thank you. Now please get naked and shut up.
Okay.
No, not you. What do you look like?
No, me. I'm the quiet, and I just keep quiet.
Okay.
Didn't really answer the question.
Yeah, although that is an attractive quality. What do you look like physically?
More like your typical New York girl.
I'm picturing
Woody Allen.
Oh, New York. Because it just started with the typical New York. Yeah, I was picturing like a cab driver from Crete. You're
tall, dark hair. I don't know. How can you describe yourself? I don't know.
Well, the first thing you can do is how can you describe what you look like physically? Yeah, it's impossible. You wouldn't know if your hair was blonde or black. You wouldn't know if you're fat or thin or how tall you were. There's no unit for measuring height.
No.
There's no device for measuring weight. You couldn't possibly know what color your eyes were.
I gave you that.
Okay, I'm taking this as a very bad sign.
You two have a great interplay.
We do.
Wait.
You're like Tracy and Hepburn.
Hold on. What about the algorithm where you calculate a caller's weight?
We could try that. First, you must tell me what you do for a living.
I'm chubby or I'm a lesbian.
Okay.
In marketing.
You're in marketing. All right. How old are you?
28.
28. Are you single?
Yes.
You are. Yeah. Well, why do you think you're single?
Too busy.
I'm going to flip over. Too busy. No time for dating. By the way, good-looking people always seem to find time for dating.
I date, but I just don't. I don't have a boyfriend.
All right. I'm going to flip over all the cards and go 220 pounds.
Is he close?
We also have the love doctor, Teresa Strasser, here.
Yes. Well,
she can
yes.
But I also love Teresa, by the way. You should keep her forever.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right,
she's
Michelle.
down to 120.
Okay, when I'm pitching women for the threesome to my wife, while she's giving birth,
no,
I will include your name on that list.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Okay. We will take ourselves a little break, and we'll be right back after this.
If you keep listening, he'll keep talking. The Adam Carolla Show.
Hey, this is Harlan Williams, and you're listening to the Adam Carolla Show with your ears. But for a little change, use your eyes.
We'll be right back with more on the Adam Carolla Show.
All right. Hey, everybody. Let me talk to Greg on the phone for 1 second. Greg?
Hey, good morning, Adam.
What's up, Greg?
All right, I've got a theory about the baby head first.
A theory?
Well, I
have theories.
I know what it is, but I'll give an analogy your listeners can comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got a drunken friend, and he's belligerent. You need to pour him into the car. You don't pour him in feet first. 1 foot goes under the car. 1 foot goes into the car. He's stuck doing the splits.
Right.
His legs are splaying. You bend him over at the waist. You kick him in the butt. He goes head first, shoots into the car. You close the door. He's in. It's like the badminton birdie through the pipe. You don't put it in backwards. You put it in head first.
Well, but I would say the shuttlecock.
Yes,
if you will.
Another good name for your vagina.
Yes.
Or if you reverse shuttlecock, you put the C first, then you really have an apt name for Teresa's vagina. The shuttlecock, if I was trying to push a shuttlecock through a pipe, through an opening, I would not put the wide end in first. I would put the small end in first.
But see, that's the thing. The shuttlecock, if you think about it, the rubber part is actually bigger than the back end because that back end collapses down to a very narrow piece.
Listen, sir, I know shuttlecocks. The Carollas have been designing and manufacturing shuttlecocks for over a quarter of a century. So don't tell me about shuttlecockery. And I said good day. Good day!
Good day to you, sir. Good day.
He makes a good point. The feet can splay out because there's two of them.
Exactly.
Right, all right. So that's what you want. I mean, that's what you don't want.
Right.
And that's the correct answer.
I see. So, yeah, what you don't want is the kid coming out foot first. One comes out the vagina, the other comes out the ass.
Right. That's very awkward.
Very uncomfortable.
There's no forceps that can fix that.
There's all the forceps and good intentions in the world. Could not put Humpty Dumpty's foot out of Mama's ass. Yes?
You got it.
Write that down. And by the way, here's my promise to you. I am a celebrity. Yes, a C-lister, but a celebrity. I will have a couple of children in the course of a week. If I at any point 2 years from now decide I'm going to sit down and pen myself a children's book, I want you to attack me with a folding chair.
Really?
I cannot stand it. There's nothing worse than blowhard celebrities deciding because they've had kids, as if everyone on the goddamn planet hasn't crapped out a few kids before them, but they feel compelled to write a book. They don't illustrate it. They just write the book. Each page has a word and a half on it. And then they have their signings. And then it does very well because it is Madonna's book against the unknown lesbian who lives up north who's trying to crap out and eke out a living writing children's books. So, of course, Madonna's book sells better. I just can't stand it. What are you guys laughing at?
Well, no lesbian.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Bruskin.
By the way, we've had an 11th hour influx of Teresa vagina names.
Based on bands.
Yes, based on bands. Harvey Danger. 98 Degrees. Perfect Circle. Punk band, The Cramps. This one's Dirty Cream. I think this one's pretty good. Twisted Sister.
I thought about that one, yeah.
Insane Clown Posse. Change a letter or two in that last word there. You really have to.
Yeah, and posse.
I like like that.
And the one I think you're going to like the best, Sublime.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
nice.
it's good.
So far, front runner, Sugar Loaf.
Cake.
I like the UB40.
That wasn't my favorite.
You have to say it slowly, but it becomes very insulting.
Well, you too connotes something else. Hey, fellas, you too.
Yeah. Or the great Who's album, Who's Next?
Right. I like one of the callers had The Cure. I enjoyed that. And when I was trying to go a little more street with my vagina, I came up with Death Row.
Yeah,
What do you think?
Very edgy. We should all be so lucky as to be put on death row.
Right, exactly.
Hard time on death row. In
Dead
the
man
hole.
walking.
Locked down. All right, we will take ourselves a little break. Teresa is on Entertainment Tonight.
Yes, 7 o'clock.
We will look forward to seeing that, but we'll look forward to listening to it in advance when we come back.
Adam Carolla. There's more coming up.
Hell yeah.
The Adam Carolla Show.
Hi, this is Sophie Monk, and you're listening to the Adam Carolla Show.
As hot as she sounds. Well, just a little bit of time left. Ooh, boy, did I see a lovely addition to Teresa's vagina.
Oh, great.
Name. First, we were going to play a little something from Entertainment Tonight, but that's on tonight, right?
Yes, it'll be airing tonight at 7 on CBS, I believe.
You'll be interviewed because you have How to Get the Guy, which is out on January, or I should say June 12th on ABC, right?
That's right, premiering June 12th at 10 o'clock on ABC.
A big fat network series.
Yeah, I know. I was laboring in obscurity on basic cable for many years, as I'm sure I'll return to doing.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice. Listen, I sprout wings, but only one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I want you to fly in a
Don't fly
circle
too
and
high?
never leave our nest.
I won't leave you.
Nest, not a bad name.
There's a few twigs in it, but otherwise.
Steve, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Adam?
What is your name for Teresa's vagina?
How about Third Eye Blind?
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like that? All right.
And I don't know if this makes me gay, but I like this song, too.
I do too.
All right.
Sweet
Thank you.
Jesus,
Really?
Adam.
Does that make me gay?
Does it? Why is this
Not
gay?
a good song.
I know, but look, calling all
It's
homos.
a girl song. That's
all right,
all.
but let me say this: a Big Mac is not a good burger, but it does hit the spot. It's not a good burger. Not if you've had one of Kimmel's burgers that he makes with the Lipton onion soup mix, and then he works in a little Worcestershire sauce. You know what I mean? Throws it on the grill. It's not a good burger. It's what it is. Hits the spot.
Yeah, it's a bad burger.
Yes, but it's good.
No, that's what. What is that noise?
Hey, do you think Third Eye Blind
Gay Bill singing
could Third Eye
along. There
Blind
you
come
go.
on and do an acoustic set since you're such a fan, Dave?
Yeah.
Well, I won't be here to hear it because, from what I understand, Toad the Wet Sprocket's waiting in the parking garage to beat me to death as soon as the show's over. So.
There's some pretty tough hombres. Bad boys from Santa Barbara. All right, we have Iron Maiden. We already had that. The Used. I sort of like that. Little off the radar.
So what's your favorite? So
Mr. Big.
Very quickly,
Keeps
you like
changing.
Cake. Well, I
Yeah.
thought you liked Madish Yahoo.
I've never heard of that.
It's the Jewish guy.
He's the Jew
Orthodox.
rapper.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Jamaican
still
rapper guy.
Oh, right. I liked Cake, Nirvana, The Cure. Wait a second, I just thought of one. Does this even
Hootie.
make sense?
Wu-Tang.
The Talking Heads?
Yeah, it's creepy.
It's too
not.
creepy.
It's not inviting.
No. Oh, the street cred names I enjoyed. Well, maybe I don't like this one. Why would I name my own vagina Easy E?
Yeah, that's a good point. Plus, yeah,
G-Unit.
yeah,
And my nickname is T, so Ice T.
it's good. But
I
again,
personally like Merle Haggard.
we will take ourselves a little break now because we're plumb out of show. I want to thank. Who am I thanking here? Tomorrow, Governor. I don't even know if he's the governor anymore, but he was when I grew up. Governor Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
I grew up in California, so Jerry. I remember when he was dating Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, a womanizer.
Back in the day. Yeah, Coxman. It's a weird word, but it's
Weird
legitimate.
that you can say it.
Yes. Jeff Ross, comedian Jeff Ross, Schnozman. Jeff Ross, Janice Dickinson. Oh, crazy supermodel, ex-supermodel. Janice Dickinson. She is nuts and feisty. I'm looking forward to meeting her. I want to thank Brittany Evans for coming in here from Playboy.com. Robert Schimmel. Hope he can patch things up with the youngins. And, of course, Dave's favorite band, Toad the Wet Sprocket. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla saying mahalo.